As the leader of the Booner Pack, I lead from the front.
All right, boys. Lock in.
It's our core foundation, man. Grit.
I'm fired up. I'm fired the fuck up, boys.
It's pumping right now. It's got my juices pumping, boys.
Welcome to Crunch Time Sports with Jeff and Boone. It's Wednesday, July 16th. We are back, all right, for another show. Training camp week. We got things to talk about. We'll be joined by the DOC, the Doc, joining us today to give us some insight on what's going on during training camp. You know, some honestly, the Tate Ratledge stuff, which we'll get into, the contract and stuff that's going on. Things are happening right now in the NFL, and we're here to cover them. So we're back, Boone. How you feeling today, man? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm feeling good. It's a beautiful Wednesday. Today officially starts the road to the Super Bowl victory in February for the Detroit Lions. Rookies reported today, so that fires me up. That means the season has officially started. And I know we're going to go through it, but the Tate Ratledge stuff, that's going to be like the story. Remember we did a couple weeks ago, Jeff, like what's the biggest storyline do you think going into camp? I don't think anyone was going to expect it was Tate Ratledge in the form of a contract. That would have been the last thing I thought.
Well, here's the thing. Like Phil just said, Tate show up. It has not been. The media isn't there, so
no one knows.
No one knows if he's there or not.
The only one that knows is agents, and from what I've heard, there are people reaching out to agents. No information
Nothing has been reported right now that Tate Ratledge has shown up. Now, okay, I'll give my opinion on it.
All right.
Just based on Tate Ratledge, I don't know him. He's a rookie. He's getting advised by his agent. I don't know how the Lions feel about this fully guaranteed thing with second round picks. They could be more open to it, or they can be kind of colluding with other teams of like, hey, we're all not doing this, so someone's going to have to fold here. There is a feeling I get that I'd like to think he showed up today. I don't think he doesn't. I don't know. I just don't think he'll miss the first day of training camp. But again, it is early. I guess you could miss and still be a part of it. But is it smart to participate without a contract? No, it isn't. So maybe he's just being advised, and maybe I'm completely wrong. And he's just like, hey, I'm going to listen to my agent here and not show up. All due respect. But it is a tricky situation. I have hope he did, but based on everything, it's tough to say one way or the other. It's not like Anzalone where it's like you kind of know Anzo enough and he's been in the league for a while. He's made money, even though he's firm on what he wants, and that's a contract. You'd like to think like captain, he'll probably still show up. Tate Ratledge is a rookie, man. I don't really know what to. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I don't, or think of it. So that's a tough one to predict whether he showed up today or not.
Yeah, I would have to say my prediction would be no. I think there's just such a weird situation going on to where, and it's just one of those leverage situations right now to where if one of those second round picks right now, there's 30 of the 32 that's not signed, correct? There's only 2 that is signed to a fully guaranteed deal. The other 30 players, they're essentially agreeing with each other. Hey, we're standing our ground. And I think if one of them shows up and one of them doesn't stand their ground, it potentially ruins it for all of the other guys, right? And then I think there's still the situation with the Lions, and I didn't even think about this until this morning, to where I do understand the Lions leverage a little bit. Hey, if we do give a fully guaranteed contract to our second round pick, that sets the precedent that we have to do that moving forward with second round picks, potentially even later picks. My opinion personally, you do it no matter what. It's not a big contract. It's not like you're talking about it's $150 million guaranteed. It's not $50 million or $20 million guaranteed. It's like $6 to $8 million potentially guaranteed with the 50th something pick. So I see kind of both sides of it. I don't think, Jeff, until there's a deal done, you show up. I really don't. I think he's sitting it out until there's a deal done to try and make sure he gets the fully guaranteed deal. It sucks. And you know what? If it somehow comes out in the next 24, 48 hours that Tate Ratledge showed up and he didn't care about it and he's just letting this agent play out, that would make me love him even more. Like, that pumps me up. I understand what he's doing right now, but if he did show up, like, that's big time. That is big time. And in Nick P, I want to just address Nick P's comment real quick. This is wrong, by the way. People keep saying this, and shout out Easy. I heard Easy say it on the show the other day. It's not just the Chargers and Lions that started training camp because they play in the Hall of Fame game. There were 6 or 7 teams yesterday that rookies reported. The Chargers on the 12th, so 5 days ago, rookies reported. And today there was another 5 or 6 teams where rookies reported. So this isn't just hey, the other teams can't put prep. No, there are, I think, almost 15 teams plus. I think, I don't have the exact number. I think it might be like 14 to 16 teams that rookies reported over the last couple of days. So you're either going to start hearing those conversations in the next day or so, I'm sure. I'm shocked. I bet you if you went and looked at some other teams, once media and agents start talking, you're going to start seeing a lot more second round, either contracts or guys sitting out. So
yeah, that's
just a correction on that. I just want to put that out there.
And to respond to that, like, oh, if you make second round picks, if you make their contracts fully guaranteed, will third round pick? Here's the thing, right? We talked about this yesterday. Second round picks in the NFL, I wouldn't say third round picks. I would say second round picks are top notch players. I mean, there's 60 guys from first to the second round that are all really good players. I mean, there's more than 32 first round worthy players. There are guys that fall that people would say, well, he's a first round talent. But after the second round, then you're like, okay, these guys are, and there's guys in the second round that are second round guys, but a lot of those guys are really talented. I think it's fair to be like, hey, these second round picks fully guarantee their contracts. I wouldn't be worried about third round pick. Like that, there's no, even if they try and do something like that, you don't fold for that. It is what it is. Second rounders, think you have an argument for, because I mean, look at there's so many good players that come out of the second round, man. It happens every single year. Second round in the NFL is not like, it's not a typical second round. We talked about Chaz Lanier for the Pistons in the second round. It's not even close. Like these guys are like Tate Ratledge is a first round level talent, and he went in the 50s. Like he's going to be a really good player. So I don't think that would matter. Just give the guy guaranteed money. I think they should do it in the NFL moving forward. And I wouldn't worry about third and past that, even if they try. What
do you think the odds are that he showed up today? Like, give a percentage.
I don't know. I mean, based on what you said, I'm hopeful, but if we're giving percentages, I would probably say 60-40, 60 he didn't, 40 he does. Maybe, I mean, I think it's probably you're leaning more towards he didn't, based on, it's not just Tate. It's like it's all these second round picks that are kind of doing it collectively. So I think that's probably, even if Tate wants to go there, if you're doing something with that many picks, if it's like a collective thing, probably less likely he's there, in my opinion. I don't know. I think it's 60-40 might even be too friendly, to be honest with you. It's probably 70-30, 80-20.
That he's 70% he's not there.
Yeah. Like, I think I'm saying 60-40, probably, maybe because I'm hopeful, but I think it's unlikely he's there. I would like to think so, but I think it's unlikely, if I'm being honest. Because I can't make the argument that he's there. I mean, I don't know what I'm basing it off of. What I'm saying?
I mean, all the evidence points at that he's probably not there.
It's his first contract in the NFL. You're going to go play without it? Like, it's not like, again, these vets that they've made millions of dollars in their career.
The thing that really just gets me, though, is that he was at minicamp. So would he at least be there without fully practicing and just saying, hey, I'm going to be here to film? And
that could be a thing.
That's the thing that I'm thinking.
Not a full participant in anything, but like just workouts and stuff. Because that's what OTAs is, essentially. It's just workouts. I mean, they're not like hitting or anything. So, of course, everyone shows up for that. Rookies will show up for that. But this training camp's a little different. Like, you're going to throw on pads. Like, you're not trying to. Is there a chance he's there and he's not in pads? I mean, yeah, I guess that's a good point.
I would love for him to be there. Like, as long as, to me, it's just like in the building. Like, just be in the building. The physical side of things, that will always. I think if you're good at that, like, look at Christian Mahogany. He missed all of training camp. Comes back. What was it? Week 2, week 3. Finally comes off the PUP list or whatever it was, and within 5 or 6 weeks, they're like, hey, he's developing into a good piece. Like, looking good. The problem is that you run into is, like, you don't have a chance to where if Tate misses time where it's like, hey, you need him week 1. So you're sitting into a weird spot to where I think when the next 48 hours, there's either a deal done or he's out on the field. Something's happening.
Yeah.
I think that's like number 1 priority in that building, to be honest.
Yeah.
Or it needs to be.
Yeah, I think that's, I mean, you're hopeful, but hopefully we find out more information. We'll talk to the doc about that later in the show and kind of get his thoughts on it as well. I think the rookies reporting, it's exciting. I mean, we talked about Tyreek and Tate yesterday, and Isaac Tesla. We talked about those 3 picks. We'll get into more of the later picks and what we want to see out of those guys in training camp and what's good, what's not good. What do we think will happen? What do we think won't happen? And I think the biggest one by far, storyline wise, and shout out to Pops because he watches, Ahmed Hassanin. That's the player everyone should be fired up to watch during training camp. I mean, you're talking about an edge, which, by the way, don't think I didn't see the comment. There's a roster spot open. I understand. Do I think Zadarius Smith is getting signed soon? I would hope so. They have a roster spot open. You keep that available. We'll see what happens post-cut when players are cut. The Lions add anyone. It'll probably be Zadarius if they're going to add someone. But even without Zadarius, people are going to be focused on edge. All right. They're looking at Ahmed Hassanin. He's going to be at training camp. I think the biggest thing to see with Ahmed Hassanin is obviously physically, he is a freak. Okay. He's a freak. He's a freak athlete. He's ultra talented. So there's things that even if he hasn't been playing football all his life, he just catches up on because he's so talented. He's talented and he's athletic. I think this training camp will be, especially with the reporting and what you'll see being reported, it'll be a good gauge on where Ahmed is in his development as a player. I think that's going to be the big storyline for Ahmed. Is not like, how athletic he is. We know he's athletic, right? Not his grit or his heart or his hustle. We know he has all those things. I want to see if you see more of the, hey, there's things that he probably needs to catch up on, or it's like this guy's way farther ahead than anyone else thinks right now. So I think you could probably make the case for both of those. And people, this is what happens with some players the Lions take that are projects. Like, and I mean that in the most respectful way with Ahmed, just because he's been playing football for a couple of years. But players that they take that maybe aren't as experienced or more raw, you'll see reporting. It's like, he looks the part, but he needs to sharpen up some things. I hope Ahmed just comes out guns a-blazing. Obviously, he's going to be ready to put his head down and work, but that's going to be the big thing with Ahmed is kind of where he is from start of training camp to where he is at the end of training camp. I think that's going to be the biggest thing to see with him.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. To be honest, I do think this is going to be a longer. And then I bet you, Jeff, and our bet will still stand. I think he gets to 4 sacks this year because I do think he gets an opportunity. I put it as this. I think from training camp, first 5 to 6 weeks, just develop him. Like, don't put any pressure unless he comes out, and it could easily happen, Jeff. We see it all the time with like random draft picks in 5th, 6th, 7th rounds, to where you just see a guy come out just like guns a-blazing, like, oh, they know he's legit. Like, how did he fall this far? That could be Ahmed Hassanin, especially with the opportunity if Zadarius Smith doesn't sign that he's going to have. He's going to potentially have a chance at reps. And I'm not talking about in the game. I'm talking about practice, training camp, to where they're going to be able to really see what he can do. But I would say, like, to temper expectations and just sit back and, like, without putting too much on the guy, because it's like, it is, what kind of sucks about it, Jeff? Remember when we went into the draft and every single round, do you remember that feeling of, like, after every single pick, Brad and them or the fans to Brad were just like, it's edge next. It's edge. Like, after every single pick. And then finally Ahmed gets drafted and everyone's like, this is the savior in the city. We need an edge rusher. But he's what, a 6th-round pick? So everyone's sitting there, it's like, you're going to rely on a 6th-round pick. And I'm not saying anything. I think Ahmed's going to be great. It's just, hey, this might take a little longer than, hey, week 1 he's going to come out with 2 sacks. It could happen, yeah, but the chances of that happening are really slim. So I am interested to see how he looks in camp. And I'm interested to see kind of the development, especially along the side, like Aiden Hutchinson. Like, I don't know, these guys have already talked about at Hassanin and minicamp, and they're like, this guy has a motor. This kid just goes. And who was it that said it? Kelvin Shepard was like, sometimes he goes too much. Like, he doesn't know when to slow down, and he doesn't know like when to, like, hey, you can relax a little bit here. Like, don't overdo it. So I think that's a good thing in the NFL, having to ask guys to, like, hey, you gotta take a deep breath. We're good.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up the edge point, because he's going to be looked at. He's going to be looked at under a microscope because of the position he plays. But, like, let's not get it twisted. All right, he's a rookie. There's things he needs to, just like all these guys, especially late round picks. Like, I think he went later than he should have. But, there's things he's going to have to work on, just like every other player that's there. It's just, it comes with it. So you can't get too high. You can't get too low. But like what Coach just brought up, shout out to Coach Walk, man. Like the ability to outwork people is slept on. Okay, even if you don't have, I think he's talented. So if you combine that with your work ethic, there's a reason why he's only been playing football for 5 years, and he's this far along
already in the NFL.
It's because he's naturally talented and he works his butt off. And hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. So he busts his ass. And there's going to be guys that come in that maybe are more talented that don't work as hard as he does. And that edge room, I mean, after your first like 2 or 3, man, like it's pretty wide open right now with no Za'Darius. So if there are injuries, like that is someone to pay attention to your point. You know, if they need him, I have no doubt he'll be ready. I don't have a doubt. We got to get Corey back on, actually. Shout out to Corey, his brother, who joined the show. You can check out on our channel, but he's got great insight to like his come up, his mindset, what makes him who he is. And, you know, he's a man of faith and he's an incredible player. So
I would like to see if we can get Corey on next week, to be honest, to see like maybe he speaks with Ahmed to see like, hey, how was rookie camp, or not rookie camp, but like training camp the first week going, and how was like the settling down with all of it.
It's got to be crazy. I mean,
yeah, this is a different level than it was with mini camp. Like you come into training camp, it's like it's go time at this point.
Yeah, it's got to be crazy. I mean, you're a rookie, dude. He's to make it to the NFL, and one day he's watching Aaron Donald, and he's like, hey, I want to be like that guy, and he's reporting to training camp in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's impressive. It really is. But I did bring up the roster spot. You think they keep that roster spot open for any specific reason? You think it's Za'Darius time soon or what?
What did I text you today?
Officially retired. He is officially retired. So
what did I text you today? I said,
you want me? I'll say
Frank Ragnow is officially off the roster.
Yes.
Za'Darius Smith will be a Detroit Lion.
Yep. There's
a spot open. And I think it gets filled with Za'Darius. Now I don't know if Tate signs and that deal goes through, if that's the spot that comes out of, but you are sitting there with an extra roster spot now with Frank officially off the roster. So I would think that Za'Darius is that piece. You would hope.
Yeah, I still have, again, if they're going to add someone, it'll be him. It's going to be Za'Darius.
Yeah.
I think the other thing to watch too is, I mean, Miles, let's get this straight too. Another late pick. He was taken in the 5th round, I think. 5th round, Miles Frazier. But he's not, I mean, this is a very good guard that played in the SEC. I think he's going to be pretty good early on. He's not a guy that like you talk about guys that come in right away as late round picks and kind of contribute. I think that's going to be pretty much Miles Frazier. I don't see Miles Frazier he's a rookie, but he's going up against SEC defensive linemen and holding his own. He's an excellent pass blocker. I mean, he played multiple positions on the offensive line in his career. And now he's on the Lions where this offensive line is super young. Like, what I want to see out of Miles Frazier is, I know he's talented. I want to see, because there's going to be injuries. But when you talk about that backup guard spot, are we depending on Miles Frazier to come in right away and fill that void? Kind of like Christian Mahogany. I mean, Christian Mahogany.
You're out on Colby Sorsdale, is what you're telling me.
Yes, I am.
Completely?
I'm so far out. Yeah, I'm out.
It's tough,
not
man.
even. I can't get any more out. It's just that's how far out I am on Colby Sorsdale. I mean, it's bad. But just like Mahogany, Kevin Zeitler got hurt. Mahogany stepped in.
Yeah.
Stories. There you go. Story was already written. So
there's a wild card player, Tristan Colon.
That's the one. Yeah.
I think he's going to have a chance, and maybe that's more so the center position.
But he could play guard.
Yeah, he could play guard as well. So like he's a versatile player. In Arizona, he played guard. I believe it was guard in Arizona, correct? And then wherever he was before, I can't remember exactly.
He was with the Ravens,
and I think that was where he played center with the Ravens. So yeah, no, he's a versatile guy to where I think Miles. I don't want to say automatically, hey, he's the backup. I think he's going to have to compete. But I actually do think. I think Jeff. I think you see Miles Frazier at some point this season start 2 or 3 games. I wouldn't be shocked. I would not be. And it's crazy because then at that point, you're sitting there with 2 rookies and essentially a year 2 guy who's essentially in his full rookie season, if you want to count this year as like his first full year, and as your interior. But these are all dudes that can play. Like Christian Mahogany's no joke. Like if you watched him play and watched his film last year, this guy's legit. Like Christian Mahogany would throw people around, run, block, pass. He does it all. And when he was next to Panay last year, like he dominated in those positions, it felt like. And you were like, hey, Booner, he wasn't great. But no, like there were plays where you were like this guy's throwing guys around. And he's a rookie. And he wasn't even at training camp, and he's out here throwing dudes around. So Christian Mahogany's ready to go. The dirt bag, as people call him. He's ready to go. And like Tate, zero question that I feel like Tate's going to be able to step up. He played at a high level, and like this kid is like the fact that there are already conversations about him starting at center, I think shows already a lot on what he can do. But then Miles, like you said with Miles Frazier, I mean, this guy's played high level football. And he's played a lot of different positions as well. Maybe not just at LSU, but when he was at his different schools, he played he was rotating positions. The knowledge is there. I think that's the biggest thing in the NFL. Like, dude, Miles Frazier has the physicality and the attributes. He has the size. He has everything. I think that one of the bigger things in the NFL, especially if you're trying to find your spot and where you fit in with your team, can you play different positions? And like, can you be a little versatile to where, hey, there's an opening at this position, say left guard goes down or right guard goes down. He can step up and play both because he did that in college. Like, he's not a guy that's like strictly like, hey, he has to play on the left side. He's played every position in college. He's played tackle in college. So it's like Miles Frazier is very versatile. And like you said, he's played at a high level already and he has the size. So I think there's a chance that we get to see Miles Frazier at this point this year, or at some point this year, like 2 or 3 games. I don't think he's going to take a starting spot, but I do believe if someone goes down, I just would not be shocked if Miles Frazier is next man up. That's your 6th man.
Yeah, and not to get it twisted, the Purple Prince says, so you guys think this draft was perfect? Every position will be great early? No, I don't. I don't think every position will be great early. I think they'll show flashes in training camp, but at the end of the day, I mean, do I think Tate Ratledge is going to be perfect? No. Like, I think there's going to be games where people, he makes mistakes, man. Same with Ty Leak. That's why you can't depend on rookies. You can't depend on them. You could be excited about what they're turning into, but I think Ahmed, like, there's stuff he needs to work on. Like, no, I don't think this draft is perfect.
How about this? Every position won't be great early, but every position at some point is probably going to be relied on. Outside of like Dominic Lovett and
I think most of the picks
Dan Jackson
will have some sort of role. Like I mean, I can see with pretty much the first 4 to 5 picks will have a role of some sort. Now I don't know how good they will be, but I know they'll have a role, or they'll just flame out and not make whatever. But at least right now, that's the feeling I get with some of these guys, man. I mean, even when you go forward, like Dan Jackson, like I don't know what he's kind of a wild card because I don't even know if he's going to make the roster because the safeties they kind of brought in, they like the Ian guy out of Grand Valley. So they like him. He's going to be competing.
Avonte Maddox is playing back there.
Avonte Maddox, he's there too. And Dominic Lovett's going to be competing in a pretty stacked wide receiver room. So those guys aren't really guaranteed. I just want to see how Dominic Lovett can contribute on special teams. Same with Dan Jackson. That's going to be the big thing for them. Is if they
to be honest, I think
that's a start for them.
Yeah. I think Dan Jackson has the better chance of making the team just based off of special teams wise. Because special teams wise for Dominic Lovett, you would think that the position for him is a returner.
Yeah.
Right? Like you could be like, oh, he's a gunner or something. I think a returner would be his spot. You have an all-pro returner in Khalif Raymond. Like think about how hard it was for him. And I'm not comparing him to the player, but Tom Kennedy. Like Tom Kennedy's like his position's like wide receiver 5 or 6, 7, and returner. Guess what? He was never going to make the team because of Khalif Raymond. That was his position. That was like if Khalif got hurt or something happened, guess who was always coming up from the practice squad? A guy like Tom Kennedy. So that's where I think Dominic Lovett kind of takes that position on the practice squad, and he's the one that kind of gets pulled up. Now, you do get to that spot to where Dominic Lovett can play, and if he does show out in the preseason, you put him on the practice squad, he's probably getting picked up.
Yeah.
So it's happened before, but that's just like Dan said it last year in the training camp. He was like, that's what you have to deal with when you actually have a good roster is you guys don't make the roster. You actually want that to happen. You want guys to get picked up because that shows how good of a roster you actually have put together.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. I think Dominic Lovett, it'll be a little more difficult, but he has a perfect Cleve Raymond replacement if he fulfills his potential. I mean, he has a perfect role. I just don't know. Dan Jackson, he's probably got more of an uphill battle, but again, to your point, if you can play special teams, there's a start. There's no doubt about that. So speaking of that receiver room though, you texted me today, you mentioned it. ESPN ranked receivers. I don't know if they were just high making the list, or maybe they indulged in some fine wine. Or
remember, it's not ESPN though. This is scouts, coaches, and executives.
It's on ESPN, executive scouts, coaches. They messed up some things on this list. Okay, they did a top 10 wide receiver list. They had honorable mentions, and there's some snubs on this list. They were high. Okay, these executive scouts and coaches were high. So drug test them before they make another one of these lists. So let me show you this. All right, number one on the receiver list is Ja'Marr Chase. Okay, which I am not gonna get too upset about. I think it's Justin Jefferson, but it is what it is. I'm not going to fight you over these two. He did ball last year, probably rightfully so. He deserves that spot. So I'm not going to fight you, but I think 1 and 2 pretty self-explanatory. Justin Jefferson, Ja'Marr Chase. Whoever ranked him 4th, you're
crazy. This should be 1, 2. What was Ja'Marr? What was his lowest?
He was ranked 3rd.
That's crazy as well. It should be 1, 2. This should be a unanimous 1, 2.
3 is Tyreek Hill.
Ranked as high as 2, so someone had Tyreek too.
Here's the thing with Tyreek Hill, man. He is so good. Like, so good.
Yeah.
I mean, he had 1,700 yards, 1,800 yards, back-to-back seasons. Is it fair to be like, hey, he's 31 years old. He's probably not going to do that. He's not going to get 1,800 yards and just be one of the best receivers in the league. Like, I think I would probably put Tyreek probably top 5 to 6. Personally, I think there's guys who should be higher, and we'll get to that in a second. But top 3 wide receiver for Tyreek Hill, man. Like, and I'm talking about right now. I'm not talking about not last year, but the prior 2 seasons. He had 1,700. He was amazing. But right now, you're going to say Tyreek's the 3rd best receiver? Seriously?
I would say this. I think this is the problem that I run into. His ceiling. Like, if he has a big year this year, let's say Tyreek shows out, his ceiling is the 3rd best in the league. So I don't hate it. I wouldn't put him there now, but I think his ceiling is like, hey, Tyreek at his best. You got to look at like that's kind of up in the air. I can't. You can't use last year because the offense, like, it just was not good in Miami last year. Like, they went through so many issues. But the first 2 years there, I mean, the man had almost 1,800 yards. It was 1,799, and then over 1,700 yards the year before, and 13 and 7 touchdowns. Like, he's dominated, and he's only 1 year removed from that. And last year, let's call a spade, he was injured the whole year. Like, he played through like a broken hand, another injury. Like, he was hurt the whole season last year. So it's hard to like say like, hey, Tyreek's fallen off until we see him healthy again. And who knows? We might not see that this year as well. I saw a video of him working out today. He had a wrap on his wrist. Like, he's hurt still. So I think at his peak is 3, but I think right now, like, you do have to respect, and I did this with the other rankings me and you gone through, and we've gone back and forth with it. I have been pretty consistent with, hey, what did you do last year? Like, how did you look? And he didn't look like Tyreek Hill last year. He only had 900 yards. He played in all 17 games. There was the caveat of the injury though.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about certain quarterbacks too. Like, I made the case with Matthew. Like, I love Matthew. I just think at this point in his career, I just wouldn't put him that high as they had him. And I feel the same about Tyreek. I just think at their point in their career, I'd probably slide him down a couple spots. I think he's still a really good wide receiver, but I don't think he's top 3. But okay, we'll go to the next one. 4 CeeDee Lamb. See, I think CeeDee should be above Tyreek. Like, CeeDee is in his prime. He's balling. You know, I love CeeDee Lamb. Obviously, I hate the Cowboys, but I think he is so good. CeeDee Lamb's so good. It's not even funny. So that's fine. I don't have a problem with him.
Glaze the guy a little bit more. Jeez.
Oh, he's incredible.
He's good. I mean, you're acting like he's like Ja'Marr Chase.
He's right under those guys. He's a beast.
He's all right. Yeah, he's good. No, he's good.
If you told me take a receiver, not name those two, I'd probably take CeeDee Lamb. If I'm being You disagree with that?
Oh, man, I hate to be that guy. No, I'll stick with CD. I won't be that guy today. Let's enjoy this ranking.
Amon-Ra?
Let's enjoy this ranking.
What, you're going to say Amon-Ra?
Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown over CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, that's fine. There's another receiver I would also take. We'll get to that in a second. That's criminal, by the way. I don't know if you guys have
St. Brown.
I don't know if you guys haven't noticed this, but there's no Puka Nacua yet, which is ridiculous. He shouldn't be
this high.
No, but I'm saying he should be next. Oh, he's not. Okay.
No, he should be next. It should be either AJ Brown or Amon-Ra next.
No.
This is correct. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
You just like Puka Nacua. Puka's very, very, very good. He's not. I don't think he's above AJ or CD or Amon-Ra yet. These guys these are multiple All-Pro guys. There's levels to this, Jeff. There is levels.
He's only been in the league 2 years.
Exactly. Let the man develop a little bit. Let him get.
If he's developing still, the league's got a problem.
Yeah. No, they do. He's gonna be good.
Because he's already great.
He's not above these guys just yet.
Oh my God, you're one of those guys. You probably think Brett Favre's better than Aaron. Is that what you think?
No, we got to see a whole career out of Aaron.
You're
Rodgers.
one of those guys.
Well, this is you in year 2. This is you in year 2 with Aaron Rodgers being like, he's already better than Brett Favre. Like, okay, sit down.
Yeah,
bud.
if you see it, you'd be like, this guy's fucking better than Brett Favre.
He has to go prove it though.
Oh, I see. You're one of those guys. It's like
I know. I've been consistent with every single ranking that we've had.
Daniels, he has to prove it.
Jaden Daniels proved it.
Oh, he did it in 1 year.
He went to an NFC Championship game.
Puka did it.
He led a team to the NFC Championship game. But Puka didn't last year, though. He got hurt.
Puka
Injuries.
Put up 3,000 yards in a playoff game.
Injuries, though. Me and you agreed yesterday Dre Greenlaw shouldn't be in the top 10 because he was injured. Puka was injured.
Are you comparing Dre Greenlaw's injury history to Puka Nacua, who went down from
He was injured last year. I'm not putting Puka up in this high yet. Should he?
Puka
I'm not
10 times over AJ Brown.
I'm taking AJ Brown.
You can have him. That's fine. That is fine.
What's I just want to ask you, what's Puka's best year? Like 1,500? He's done it once
as a rookie, but
yeah, AJ Brown's had 1,500. He had 1,496, 1,456.
In what year?
The last 2 years before this last season, in 22 and 23.
5.
But you can't just do that. Be like, well, because he's a rookie. You have to do currently. You can't you're doing projections.
The case for Jane Daniels because he did it as a rookie, and now you're back.
He did it, but you're doing projections. You're doing projections.
My eyeballs.
You're doing projections. Who's after AJ Brown?
I'm doing my eyeballs. All right, it's like you with Daniels. I already know it's good, and I agree with you with that. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to wait for Jane Daniels. The guy's fucking amazing. But with Puka, we gotta wait. 1,500 yards as a rookie. I mean, what are we doing here? All right, let's go to the next one. AJ Brown. Okay, whatever. 6. Amon-Ra St. Brown. See, I think Amon-Ra should be above AJ Brown. I do.
Yeah, I do too.
I would take Amon-Ra over AJ Brown. I've said that. I think Amon-Ra is a top 5 receiver, and I put AJ Brown at 6. It's my opinion. I think AJ is really good.
Yeah.
I just think if I'm drafting a receiver, I want Amon-Ra. I think he could do a lot. He can get 9, 11 catches in a game. He can yards after catch. He's a touchdown guy. He's got great hands. He can run block. He's one of the more complete. He's complete. There's just preference. If you want to go, it's preference, fine. But I'll take Amon-Ra over AJ personally. I would.
Yeah, I'm taking Amon-Ra over AJ as well. I've been on. I said that last offseason. Everyone kind of got mad at me for it, and one of the reasons was I just think AJ Brown even last year had those issues where, with the team where there was a lot of things going on. And to me, Amon-Ra St. Brown just all around teammate, player, everything you ask for. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown, and it's consistent. And that was why last offseason I said the same thing with Amon-Ra over AJ. So I'm with it again this year.
Nick says I think wide receiver 3 to 7 are very close. So you're talking.
That's fair. I think it's interchangeable.
Tyreek, CD, AJ, and Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
And then you
And
go
then
to 7 is Malik Neighbors.
Wow.
Oh, what do you think about this? I'd love to hear
Wow.
your opinion. What do you think?
Wow.
Oh,
I
Boone's
think
in a
the
pickle
reasons
now.
I think the reason he's at 7 is because of his skill. It's skill wise.
No, he's got to prove it.
No, I think he does. I think it's crazy having a right away just rookie right there and at 7 over Puka Nacua. Like this is right here, Jeff, and relax. Get your panties out of a bunch. I would put Puka Nacua 7th right now. This is where Puka Nacua should be, right here.
I think, and I'll say this, and I'm teasing you. I think Malik should be on the list. I don't think he should be this high. I said the same thing with Jane Daniels. I think Jane Daniels as a rookie should be on that list. I don't think he should have been 5.
This is Puka Nacua's spot right here. Malik Neighbors, just push him down maybe 1 or 2.
But he is. But we agree.
Very good.
Yeah,
yes,
he's
yes,
guy,
100%. Just give me Puka over Malik though.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. But yeah, Malik Neighbors at 7. I think the chat kind of agrees with that. Puka had a Neighbors coach. You know, ball man. I do agree with that. Neighbors is a dog. Neighbors at 7 is bad. Neighbors was number 2 in targets. I mean, yeah. It's not his fault. You know, they needed his ass, man. They needed him to pretty much do everything. Next player, Nico Collins. I think that's fair. I mean, Nico's a top 10 receiver. You know what I mean? He's a true like X wide receiver. He really is.
Yeah, so, I think Nico should be on the list top 10. I think that's fair. So far, the only person I would put on this list so far is Puka. I don't know why Puka's not on this list.
And then number 9 is Mike Evans.
Well deserved.
Yeah, I like him getting respect. I do. I like him getting respect. It says Evans was one of the 5 receivers in a voting cluster for the 9th and 10th spots. Garrett Wilson, Terry McLaurin, Puka Nacua, and Brian Thomas Jr. were the others. We put that tiebreaker. We put that group into a tiebreaker for several high-ranking evaluators, and Evans was deemed as the number 1 out of that group. Mike Evans over Puka, like guys. I mean, this is ridiculous. Did Puka Nacua sleep with these guys' wives? Is this guy like? What do we not know about him? Is he hoeing around? Is he banging guys' wives? Why is he getting disrespected? I don't understand. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I never will understand it. Did he kick a puppy? I mean, what did he do? What did he do that I don't know about? I don't understand it. I love Mike Evans, but come on, man. Number 10, Garrett Wilson. Okay, see, like this. Like Garrett Wilson over Puka Nacua? What are we doing?
All right. Can we at least get – I'm with you. Puka needs to be on the list. Let's take all of that away. Take Puka. Do you think Garrett Wilson should be in the top 10? Like, who on this list are you taking out to put Puka in?
I would say, I mean, there's a different guys I would move around, but if you want to take,
but I'm saying like you have
probably. I don't think Garrett Wilson's there yet.
Wow.
I think he's a really good receiver, but
he just hasn't had a quarterback, like a good quarterback.
He hasn't. But we have to factor in production as well. I mean, we can't just keep being like, well, this guy had 800 yards, but if he had a quarterback, he's in the top 5. Like it's like, well. Like Puka put up the fucking numbers, man. Like check Puka's yards per game. He had one of the highest in the league. He did it. Like Garrett Wilson, they brought in Devontae Adams with Aaron Rodgers. Like, I would even honestly, Boone. I don't know if I would do this. This one, I would say, if you want to get spicy, we could talk about Brian Thomas Jr. too.
Yeah, I just don't know. I'm with you with Brian Thomas. Remember, I said that I think next year he could lead the league in receiving yards, and I think that's true. He was 3rd last year on a bad offense and just a brutal offense, and now you get Liam Cohen in there. I just don't know who I would switch him out for. I really don't. Because let's say we put Puka in there, take Garrett Wilson out, move it around a little. Who are you switching Brian Thomas out for? I think
the one you'd probably be most comfortable is Garrett Wilson. I just don't think Garrett Wilson.
But again, I don't think you heard what I'm saying. You take Garrett Wilson out for Puka. who are you taking out for Brian Thomas?
No, I'm just joking around. Well, not joking, but I was saying like Brian Thomas. You could argue. I would rather have. I think Puka's the answer.
Puka. Okay, so if you put Puka in, you're leaving the list. Not Brian.
Yeah, I'm not putting him at 10 though. But yeah, I'm moving.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying you have to take someone off the list because it's only a 10-person list.
Yeah, no, I was saying as a player, like I think Brian Thomas Jr. I'm not saying he should be on this list. That's what I meant. Like as a player, I don't think Garrett should be on the list because Brian Thomas Jr. you could argue is better. You know what I'm saying? I because of what he did his rookie year, he balled out. And they didn't have. And look at his quarterback. Trevor Lawrence went down. You know, he went down too. So, yeah, Puka Nacua. Honorable mentions. Oh, here we go. Terry McLaurin, Puka Nacua. Oh, look at this one. I can't believe he's not in the top 10. He's just got the it factor. Whoever that NFL defensive coach is, I bet it's Aaron Glenn. Because Aaron Glenn saw this man front row seat put up 150,000 yards in a playoff game on the Lions. So I hope maybe it is Aaron Glenn. Anyway, Brian Thomas Jr., DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, and then there's others that got votes. One of those guys, Jamo. Jamo got votes.
Yeah, he did. So technically, so there's 10. How many people are in honorable mention?
There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 16.
6.
And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He's 20th.
11. Yeah, he's a top.
He's 20th technically on this list.
Oh,
so
yeah. I don't know if it's in
20.
order, but yeah.
I would say it's in order. Just for the.
Fine. If it's the narrative, we'll just go with that.
20th. He's top 20 in the NFL, according to executives, scouts, and coaches. That's actually crazy. Who else is on this list? Devontae, who he should. Lad,
hey,
definitely.
By the way, Alan, how many games did he play in?
Yeah, Alan, I've had this conversation. The games he only played in like 12 games. Like Puka was on track for another big year. He just got hurt.
Anyway, sorry, I had to shout out to Alan. But
I would say Ladd McConkey should be on this list. You could argue Ladd McConkey honorable mention. JSN as well. Jamo good. DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, George Pickens, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, Calvin. Man, it's crazy to think where Calvin was as a receiver and it's kind of to what's going on with him. Can I ask you something though? You think Jamo's locked on this list next year?
Top 10?
I will honorable mention top 10. What do you think? I mean,
I think honorable mention, yes. Like he should be in the top 15 next year. He's only going to get. I mean, Jamo's only going to get better, and they're only going to find other ways to use him and more comfortable with Jared. And he missed 2 games last year. You would think just getting better, Jamo would be in the at least honorable mention where he's top 15. I would think, yes.
I think he's honorable mention too next year. I think
top 10 is tough to crack, man. That's
yeah. There's so many good receivers. It's an offensive league. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. Let me see. Do you think I'm gonna put a poll in the chat? I'm
kind of with Easy. He said I've always said Ridley was overrated. Everyone last year, I remember in fantasy, draft Calvin Ridley, and then he had like a big game or two, and he just didn't. He didn't do it much. He didn't.
No, I'm gonna be honest. From where he was in Atlanta to where he is now, he's overrated.
Yeah, Easy said Julio Merchant, which that's fair.
Yeah,
he had 1,000 last year, but you know how many people how many wide receivers have 1,000 yards?
Easy's right. Like having Julio, like they're doubling Julio, but Calvin Ridley as a player, route running, like he was.
Yeah, sometimes though, like.
He was that guy. But he is right. Like he did benefit from having Julio Jones.
Route running and production, 2 different things.
Well, he did both in Atlanta.
I mean, he had 1,000. I mean, the man, like we're talking about, like to be on a top 10 list, you need to go get 1,500.
He did that as alongside Julio too.
Yeah, he had 13 1 year, and then the last 2 seasons he's had 1,000. That's it.
Yeah, well, I've liked Calvin. He went to Bama actually, so he was great at Bama too. But yeah, I'm not going to fight you over Calvin Ridley being there. I think Jamo honorable mention next year. I think Amon-Ra should be moved up. I think he's a top 5 receiver. I've already said that before, and I think Puka should be there instead of Tyreek Hill. So that's my opinion. I think Puka is one of the best receivers in the league. And if you don't believe me, go watch the LA Rams game when the Lions beat them for the first playoff game ever. Yep. Just watch that. Watch the tape. I mean, we watched it together, Boone. It was you saw it. We saw it. We also did he play in this game this year against the Lions too?
Who?
Puka, did he play week 1?
I don't. Let me check. I can check real quick. I can't remember.
I can't remember if he played week 1
I think
against
he
the
did.
Lions.
Yeah, he did. He had 4 catches and 35 yards.
Oh yeah,
How's that fit your narrative? How does that fit your narrative?
No. Watch that one. Watch the playoff game.
Yeah. No, I mean he had some games. I mean, he had a game there versus Arizona 129 versus Buffalo. They beat Buffalo 44-42. And he had 162 yards and a touchdown. Oh, he actually had 2 touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown as well. He had a receiving, a rushing, and 162 yards, 12 catches. It's unreal, man.
Hey, by the way, easy. I don't know if you were here for my whole like Puka Nacua debacle thing, but yeah, I think Puka Nacua should be a top 5. He's a top 5 receiver. I'd put him 3rd.
He's 7th on this list.
Or 4th.
He's right behind Amon-Ra St. Brown.
I think he's one of the best receivers in the league.
That's you though. That's just because he's one of your favorite wide receivers.
No,
you're going by.
I got nothing. I don't know.
You love talking about this man. Yeah, look at that grin. This isn't realistically. He is 6th.
Yeah, maybe 3rd's aggressive. I'll go 4th.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're trying to tell me it's not biased, and you're like 3rd, not even 4th.
I think 3rd. I think the CeeDee Lamb's 3rd.
Dude, he is 7th on this list behind Amon-Ra and AJ Brown. And after maybe this next year, like I mean, we're talking about Amon-Ra St. Brown, who is back-to-back first-team All-Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Puka? 1, 2nd team.
He was a Pro Bowl he's a Pro Bowler as a rookie. And
you keep saying as a rookie, Jeff. Hey, newsflash, buddy. If you're going to be considered in these top conversations, I don't care if you're a rookie or not. Who cares? Stop saying a rookie. If you're in these conversations, hey, no, hold on, stop. No one cares in these conversations how old you are, what your age is. If you're a rookie, a 4th year, an 8th year, a 9th year, no one cares. It's about can you play and can you not. He is a 2nd team All-Pro behind who? Last year, his rookie year that you're saying is the best year. Literally the year that you are using. Hold on. The year you're using to put him on a pedestal. Amon-Ra St. Brown is 1st team. He was 2nd.
When can I talk? Go ahead.
And then the next year, guess what? Puka wasn't any team, and Amon-Ra was 1st. So let Puka let that career pan out a little bit, and then we have this conversation, bud.
All right, I don't want to hear you give any credit to rookies from now on. They have to earn it.
If they go out there and put numbers up, okay, there you go. He put numbers up. That's why he's 7th on the list to me. Like, you look how good these wide receivers are. The man is 7th. That is very good. He's sitting behind guys who get first-team All-Pros
when a guy's
back-to-back years.
You
do, and he's good. That's why he's 7th.
Great. He's great. That's what I think. Whatever. We can disagree with that. By the way, Lukas, he is doing good. We talked to Lukas.
Klotz is doing well.
He's doing really well. So we have a show to do. So sometimes we're not seeing like comments, we're addressing comments. But yeah, he's doing well. He's doing really well. Appreciate you guys asking. Reach out to him on social media, man. I mean, we talk to him every day. So if you got him on Twitter or anything, reach out to him. Check on old Klotz. He'd appreciate that. But yeah, he's doing good. Let's bring in the DOC in a second. Let me tell you about the sponsor of today's show before we do that, of course, and that is Comer & Cross. So let me tell you about Comer & Cross because they have their one-day installation sale going on and for their concrete floor coatings, which you guys should be checking into. You can call the number 248-834-3488. I know you guys are sick and tired of staring at your cracked, stained garage floor, or even worse, peeling epoxy, chipped paint, making your whole garage look neglected. Right now during Comer & Cross and their summer installation sale, they're offering 12 months, same as cash, or $500 in savings. So again, you can call the number 248-834-3488. They transform patios, pool decks, basements, even driveways. They'll move the stuff out for you. Go to their website, comercross.com, and let them know your friends over at Crunch Time Sports sent you. Crunch Time Sports. All right, let's bring in the DOC, the man of the hour that joins us every single Wednesday. I think he's almost naked right now. I have to double check with him. I don't know what he's wearing, but let's find out. The publisher of Detroit Lions on Sports Illustrated, podcaster, Lone Wolves podcast. Check out his stuff. Follow him on X, Detroit Podcast. Let's bring him in, Mr. Maakaron. What the hell are you wearing?
Bro, I told you guys, summer's here. Summer's over for the doc. I told you I'd come in, sun's out, guns out, on the last appearance of my summer vacation. And here we are, baby. I'm having a good time. I had myself one of the best summers I've ever had. And now it's going to end. But here we go. What do we got today, boys?
Wow. I love this. I love this. This is going to go great. So let me start this with you, Mr. DOC. All right. There's things going on right now, and I know you don't have information, or at least I don't think you have information. You may, because no media was allowed to go there and cover training camp. But what do you think happened today with Tate Ratledge? Just a feeling from what you've gathered, or maybe have you seen? We don't know if he's reported or not. What do you make of the whole debacle, and what's your confidence level that the Lions maybe give in or maybe not give in on this whole like second round fully guaranteed thing?
Yeah, I was listening to you guys, and absolutely right. You guys were saying it. I don't think he showed up, but I think he's right around the corner waiting for the Detroit Lions to make the deal. And it's tough. You know, I look at it and I go, man, I kind of wanted a drama-free training camp, but we're going to have some drama because he was the 57th pick. And I do believe that maybe there's a duty that a lot of these second rounders want to have, and they want to set forth the opportunity for a bunch of guys to get guaranteed money. So I understand it. I understand it really from both sides. I'm not really upset if someone's going to, really look at it and your agent says, hey, you have a chance to get, so many $1 million and fully guaranteed no matter what happens to you, you take it. But at the same time, it does hurt the team if he does miss a couple meetings, but there's some time. Just like the doc is relaxing, Tate is probably in the same position I'm in right now, chilling, relaxing, and waiting because rookies reported, but nobody's going to really step foot on the field for major duties until Sunday. So I think that there's some opportunity for some time for this negotiation to take place. So he could show up and sit in meetings, but absolutely under no circumstance would he lift or be able to show up on the field by NFL rules. Not like he would, make a decision or do some insurance type thing. NFL rules, if you don't have a contract, you're not participating in the actual work at training camp. He could sit in meetings, but I do think that he is, and guys, look, common sense, right? You guys are content creators. I'm a wonderful content creator. A lot of people in this chat are content creators. Did you guys notice on the day that the Lions rookies reported, any photos show up? Did you guys crop any photos out and put them online? Did anybody see
No,
Isaac?
that's true. Nothing.
Did anybody see Ahmed with his guns out working out today? Why didn't they post any photos on the social media channels? You could read into that they don't want me and you and everybody else going, wait a minute, there's one guy missing because there's only 7 pictures you got to take, and they would only have 6. So
great point, Doc.
I do think he was not there today, in my humble opinion, but I'm only speculating.
Doc, I do want to actually, outside of all of that, the second probably biggest conversation that's being had, second and third, is really this Anzo and Hutch stuff. What are your thoughts now that we're kind of the week of training camp? Things are starting to pick up. Summer's over, like you said. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think the Anzo thing gets done now that we are approaching camp within the next week or so?
I look at it and I say,
did you talk to Slick Rick? Did you talk to Slick Rick, Doc?
Slick Doc probably looking at it and going, they're probably finalizing their contract over the next couple weeks and having talks. Look, I do think that there's time. Alex is under contract, and maybe there's a situation in which he's got to wait for Aiden, wait for other situations to take place. But does Brad Holmes strong arm one of the team captains? I don't think so. I think that you probably assume that they're putting something together in place that probably could be announced on Friday or Saturday before camp. You want him happy. And if not, maybe it happens a couple days into camp. But I look at it and I say, Alex Anzalone will be here. I would be shocked if he actually decided not to show up to training camp. He'll be here. I do think it'd be great if he didn't have a contract. He comes in, stands up for himself and says, hey, I feel like I earned it. That would put a little bit of pressure on the organization. And I think one conversation with Dan and one conversation with Brad Holmes would move things pretty much along. And I think it would be great if Alex was in town. So I'm not terribly concerned because I don't think it's going to be that much more money. One more year, a couple more $1 million, and you got yourself a player that's going to be quite happy. So I do think that Alex is on the agenda. I just think he's behind a couple other guys.
Do you think, Doc, that there's a realistic chance that he ends up playing without a contract done?
He has a contract. He has a contract this
Well, I guess
year.
an extension done.
But an extension. Yeah, I do think so. I do think that he's got obligations that I do think he wants to be a professional. And I do think he would. I don't think he'd be happy about it, but I do think he's a company guy. I do think that the relationship that he's formed with Derek Barnes is super close. And I think you would be hard pressed to see one of your brothers out there grinding and working for a goal while you're sitting back. And he's well paid. $6 million is not chump change, but I do not see a scenario. Now, I do not see a scenario in which he plays this year on his last year because of what he's done. So I just think that something gets done. It doesn't have to be right away, because I do think there's opportunity to talk over training camp. I do think that there's I do think that he made his point. He knows his value. And I think, and plus two guys, I don't really, it's kind of, been the norm that the line starters don't really play in the preseason. So he'll practice, but he doesn't have to play and suit up during the game. So there'll be opportunities for him to, and his representation, to have conversations. I think they'll take place. And once Brad Holmes gets into gear, you've kind of noticed that they get into place and they handle business.
Doc, just want you to, Dark Flame he says Doc wants you to check out the hook while TJ revolves. Don't change chat, please. That's my favorite comment. All right, let me ask you this. So Frank Ragnow officially retired. Roster spot open. You know how people are. What the hell's happening with that roster spot, Doc? All right, is this easy? Is it easy to say Za'Darius, or you think that's just something precautionary looking at to kind of post training camp when guys are cut, maybe looking at some options there?
Yeah, they always like to keep a roster spot. It might have to be for another lineman. If Tate holds out, you might have to go out there and get Brandon Scherf or somebody out there to come in here. I heard you guys' conversation. I do think that Cologne has been underrated. Once people get a chance to see him, maybe they will speak more about him as a realistic option to compete with Graham Glasgow, because most people think the competition is between Tate and Graham. But look, it's a nice opportunity to build depth, but it's just going to be basically, I think, for a camp body, a special teamer, somebody that maybe if there's an injury that happens early in practice, I think maybe they leave it open. Or I don't think, again, it would be great. I think it would be a nice jump start if it was Za'Darius Smith, but I think Za'Darius is just like me. Why would you show up to camp when you can sit back and have, like we've said, all the teams can vie for your services? If one injury goes down, you make yourself another $1 million. So I would be shocked if Za'Darius is there week one. That's a lot of work and wear and tear on your body. The first couple of weeks are light, no pads just yet, but I would be pleasantly surprised if Za'Darius Smith is that spot. But I can't wait to see what positions they value a little bit more, where they feel they need more depth, because probably it's at safety. You have clearly the best two, but behind there's competition. You could look there. You could look at linebacker, offensive line. So you could have competition at a lot of different spots.
Hey, one big thing, Doc, that I've noticed coming up starting in training camp, this isn't just here in Detroit, like nationally. I've seen CBS, I've seen ESPN. I've seen a lot of people talk about this player, Jack Campbell. It seems like this is like a big year for him to take a jump. How do you feel about what he's about to go into, especially training camp, potentially Anzo to start? What do you think happens with Jack Campbell this year? Do you think he puts himself in that conversation of top 5 to 10 linebackers in the NFL? And what do you think he needs to do to get to that spot?
Listen, man, it's great to see. These rankings were fun this year. A lot of stuff that was debatable. I listened to you guys talk about the wide receivers. I look at Jack Campbell and I say, okay, honorable mention. I see a player that's just going to be a guy that's going to be really probably truly a breakout candidate. Somebody that's going to get a lot of tackles, going to make noise, impact plays. I think he's ready to take over that leadership spot. And you got to make your case that if Alex Anzalone is on the last year here in Detroit and you're the replacement, got to show out and show what you're about. And I think Jack Campbell every single year. Now, he did have that little bit of an offseason surgery. I'm curious to see how he looks the first couple of weeks of camp, but I can't wait. I think he's a big, strong physical presence, the captain of that defense, emerging leader. I think that he's somebody that's really no nonsense. I think that he's somebody that had the capability of, being the green dot wearer of the helmet when Alex Anzalone was out. But I just think that he's just got to improve in a lot of facets of his game, most notably against the pass. It's tough in this league, reading and recognizing different route combinations that these tight ends and running backs are going with. But most importantly, I do think I want to see him a little bit more in terms of getting better at rushing the passer and delivering sacks and getting after it. But all around, I just see great improvement. And I do think that he'll, by the end of the year, will cement himself as being the guy that I think people will be comfortable. If Alex Anzalone moves on, that's the guy.
Well, Doc, we talked about the rookies too earlier. We've been talking about them the last 2 days, and I think that's going to be probably – it's always the hot topic of training camp is how the rookies look. Is there any specific rookies you're looking forward to seeing, or any guys that you think will, by the end of camp, based on your expertise, that as a writer you can already kind of see, hey, this guy might be the storyline here to follow, or is there anyone that you think could surprise people?
Yeah, I think pretty much half of the rookies are going to draw a lot of attention. Clearly, Tate Ratledge and his competition to start, I think, is going to be somebody people pay attention to. Tyleik Williams is going to be the replacement. He's going to be a day one starter. So I think right away. And then Tesla, I think, has got the same swag as the DOC. I think he'll go out there and he'll start showcasing his skills, make some plays, hopefully maybe develop a connection with Hendon Hooker and Jared Goff right away. But I think the guy that everybody's going to want to see is Ahmed Hassani. They want to see the destroyer. They want to see him get after it and compete, go up against Manu, battles against Mason Miller and Kobe Sorsdahl and the guards. And I just can't wait to see how fast he moves up and what units he's on. Probably second and third units back and forth there to start, but then maybe some nice competitive battles against Taylor Decker as training camp progresses. I do agree with you guys. I think he's got a chance to make noise in training camp, but it's going to be one of those deals where I do think there is a firm number one opposite of Aiden. That's Marcus Davenport. And the Lions, though, are not shy to give playing time to those that excel. And I do think that he'll have his opportunities. And I kind of feel it has the James Houston feel where he'll start to put up big sack numbers. If he gets over the number you guys put out for, it'll probably happen in the second half of the year. It takes time to acclimate. And I don't think the Lions are going to just throw him out there week one against Green Bay. I do think that they'll roll with a different combination. So I do think that early on he might get 10, 15% of defensive snaps and then steadily improve to hopefully be able to play a lot more as the season progresses. But he's still raw. But I agree with 100% what you said. I do think he'll probably be on the track to develop quite fast.
Hey, outside of just specific questions, Doc, what are you looking for as you being someone in the media who's going to be at camp over this whole next few weeks and months? What are you looking for specifically? What are some of the big storylines that you're going to be looking for when you first get to Allen Park over the next couple weeks?
Great question. Listen, here's the fun part about summer. My reps have put in the request to the Lions. Now, most likely they have replied to the reps. I have not officially replied to my reps that I have been approved. Now, 99.9% I'm going to be there, but I have yet to have the formal conversation that I'm going to be there. But it's going to be like 99.99% I'm approved, but I'm taking my sweet ass time to get with the people. I can't wait to go out there. It's my 7th year. I've seen it all. I've looked over the last couple of years' coverage. It's been pretty similar. I mean, I don't think there's going to be a lot of changes. I think I'm going to be excited for the joint practices against Miami. My fellow colleague from Miami is coming to town, hopefully, and he's just been a great mentor and friend, and he's going to come to town, and we'll hang out after practices. The practice against the Texans I'm excited for. Look, I think the early storylines, I just want to see Jared Goff. I mean, the first thing I always look at is, okay, how are the quarterbacks playing? Goff, it might take a little bit of time early. Going up against sometimes I feel like the defense has been a little bit ahead of the offense early in camps. Clearly, I want to see how Hendon Hooker looks out there. I want to see, has he developed? What's it look like against Kyle Allen? The young line. I think a lot of people are going to look at who's shuffling where. Where does Graham line up? Where does Mahogany line up? So the offensive line shuffle is going to be up there. And I just want to see the battles, man. I love seeing Aiden Hutchinson against Panay one-on-one. Those are just must see. I love the opportunity, hopefully, for Jamo to match up against Ennis and Terrion Arnold and DJ Reed. Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra probably on par with the most talkative player in terms of trash talking to his own team. When he makes a play, he's right there talking junk, and I think it brings the level of competition up because we saw it a couple years ago. You see it now that Amon-Ra doesn't want to lose a rep. And I can't wait to see the one-on-one battles when pads come on. But I just think that early on, I think a lot of the people look at, the development of the rookies, the quarterbacks, some of the depth battles, position battles that are going to take place out there. So a lot of things to write about. I'm excited getting my energy up. Man, it's going to be tough because you realize that the summer treated me very well. I had a good time. I've had a great time. But now the work starts, and I'm in the mix. I'm blessed to be able to do it. They've still let a crazy MFer like me out there for 7 years. It's great. I love the opportunity. You guys have blessed me to be able to have as much fun as humanly possible covering sports. And it's great. I'm excited. I'm truly excited. This year might end up being the year where the Lions get to go to the Super Bowl and maybe get to cover the NFL on the biggest stage humanly possible. But I've done it all. It's just some new stories. And I just feel like I'm probably more on the entertaining side, more podcasts, more opinions, more columns from myself. A lot of things to work on and do. But, look at this, guys. Told you. I ain't soft either. Look at that.
Oh,
you're
gosh.
Doc. Whoa, man.
I ain't soft either. See, different
You're
style.
hard, dude.
Hey, what's that? Oh,
You're hard, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was 19 years old. I should flash that at NFL camp. Be like, what? Doc has a what? Yeah. I'm not 100% clean.
Yeah, I had no doubts, Doc. I had no doubts. Doubts about Doc. Let me ask you this. You mentioned the quarterback stuff. We asked Jeremy this with Hendon Hooker, and his response was he thinks that the feeling he has is since they haven't brought in better competition to compete with Hendon Hooker, he would lean that he's going to win the job. Obviously, you have to see him perform, but what do you make of that? The Lions haven't brought in like a legit backup. I mean, Kyle Allen's a backup, but I wouldn't say he's a legit backup. What do you think of that and just kind of your confidence level that maybe the Lions are comfortable with Hendon and excited for him to kind of take the job? Because if they were more worried, Doc, wouldn't you think they'd bring in a bigger name?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. The DOC from the 313 has to lock in on the backup quarterbacks, right? I just think Hendon's the guy. I mean, I would be like, I would not be surprised if at the end of training camp, they go out and get another backup if he doesn't play well, but he's going to have every opportunity to go out there and shine. I think that he's, there's going to be some talent out there and there's going to be young talent. I mean, I think he's going to have an opportunity to get out there and throw to Lovett and Tesla and get out there and showcase pretty early what he's about, but he's got to show something. So I'm excited to see what he can bring to the table. But unfortunately, that's the tough part is he's got a personal relationship with the GM. So it's a challenge to give a full evaluation because, all we've seen is just small glimpses. Now, hopefully knowing that there's an extra game, a game on July 31st, I hope that he takes every single snap in the first half of all these games. And it's like a true battle. You give Hendon Hooker the first 2 quarters, maybe a little bit in the second half, and then you get Kyle Allen some reps too. But he's got to lead some drives, clean football, lead the offensive line, make it look somewhat clean throughout the whole process, limit the turnovers. And so all you need is just because I think everyone kind of has the feel of like, hey, if Jared Goff goes down, it's a wrap. It's over. But, realistically speaking, could Hendon Hooker for a series or 2 lead a couple drives? Maybe, but I would be more comfortable with a veteran. And again, look to the organization. I'm curious to see the battles are also at Cleveland. What, they got 5-6 quarterbacks starting. They could drop a Kenny Pickett. They could drop the veteran Joe Flacco. If one of those 2 get cut and Hendon drops, I would look to the Browns and bring one of those guys here because I think that there's a little bit better talent proven with the Browns in their backup battle.
Doc, be very careful how you answer this question. One of the biggest things going around the internet right now is the Penei Sewell, Lane Johnson argument. There are some former players that are getting on this. Let's get the Doc's opinion on it. How are you feeling? Where would you put Penei Sewell around Lane Johnson, Tristan Wirfs? How do you think he lands? And do you agree or disagree with, what's his name, Charles Schwartz, supposed to be 4-time All-Pro, that has never watched Penei Sewell play a snap of football?
Close. Mitchell Schwartz. Brother of Jeff Schwartz, who used to play for the Lions. And here's the thing. This is truly one of those deals where you are really, looking for, small slivers of comparisons. Lane Johnson's one of the best, but he's 35 years old. If you're starting a team tomorrow, you're taking Penei Sewell. There is more respect across the league in terms of left tackles versus right, but we all know that if Penei Sewell were to switch over to the left side, he'd protect Jared Goff's blind side, no problem. And I just think that he was saying things tongue in cheek, but in regards to what he was saying that based on PFF rankings, he sees that Penei Sewell's pass blocking is not the best. Look, all you got to do is realize he's given up less than 3 sacks the last couple years. So the pass blocking department is just fine. So I do think that these professional linemen are really looking at fine tooth. These are things that would get corrected on a week-to-week basis. When Penei Sewell at the end of games, he gets graded. He has things to work on in terms of hand placement, fundamentals, shifts, and things like that. So he's always going to get better. Guys, he's less than 26 years old. He's going to dominate. And so, look, it's a great debate to have. I'm glad the Lions built their foundation around that guy. Look, he's a monster. He's a beast. And I get to see him every day. I get to see the growing leader that he is, quiet confidence. And when he's out there on the field, you're telling me you'd be comfortable if you're a defensive lineman going up against Penei Sewell? Yeah, okay. Penei Sewell is one of the game's greats, one of the top 2 right tackles. I think everybody in the chat, everybody in Lions Nation is proud to have Penei Sewell. And people on the outside that want to talk about, look, in the end, it would be like me rating you guys versus other people. I have a loyalty to you guys. I'd have a lot of respect for what you guys do. I'd have a lot of nice things to say. But at the same token, I think that there's some innate bias that Mr. Schwartz has for Lane Johnson, and that's fine. I respect that for sticking up for Lane Johnson and the work that he's done. Bro, at 34 years old, if Penei Sewell's doing that, man, that would be some legendary stuff. So Penei Sewell, listen, he's going to win the Protector of the Year this year. You know that. And he's going to be an all-pro. He's going to be a legend in Detroit. And I just think that it's fun to listen to, but you guys are absolutely right. If you take what Schwartz said seriously, I think that you're wasting time. Penei Sewell is great. And Jared Goff sleeps well at night with Penei Sewell on the right side.
Doc, I'll ask you this too. Another kind of side note, and I guess the only reason why we bring this up is because of Hard Knocks when you get to see Aaron Glenn and Deuce Staley. And I know they're unique personalities, but what are you expecting to kind of see out of Kelvin and out of John Morton? It could be personality wise, or maybe things you're looking forward to see kind of how they coach, because at least with Kelvin, you're more familiar. You've been in the building. You've gotten to see him in action to some degree. This is obviously much more bigger. He's a defensive coordinator, but John Morton, this is kind of new. He's been an OC with the Jets, but in terms of in Detroit, he's been assistants. He's been an offensive assistant in different places, but as an OC, it'll be exciting. What are you kind of expecting out of those two new coordinators to see how they kind of run things?
Yeah, I expect competition. I think it's going to be great. I think you're going to see a lot of talking, not really from Morton to Kelvin Shepherd, to Shard Choice. When you guys go out there and all the fans, listen, here's a little fun note. I wouldn't mind it. Don't be too loud because I don't want to draw too much attention. But if you see me walking, I typically will be in my own little world thinking about coverage. Yell out my name. Yell out Doc. It'd be great. I'll come say hi. A lot of people have DM'd me looking forward to training camp. You guys know I stopped watching the practice and came up there and said hello to you guys when you came up to camp. So I have a good time covering the NFL. So say Doc, and I'll come by and give you a shout out, and it'll be a fun time. I'm a man of the people. Tashard Choice and Kelvin Shepherd are going to go back and forth, kind of how Glenn and Johnson did. Yeah, Tashard Choice likes to talk, and he likes to talk loudly. And I think Kelvin Shepherd will be somebody to get after it a little bit. Morton, I think, will be working with Hendon Hooker and Jared Goff and Jamo, and I don't think he's going to get into too much banter with Kelvin Shepherd. What I want to see from the defensive coordinator, aggression. I want to see how the linebackers look, where which linebacker gets the position to line up along the defensive line. Is it Derek Barnes? Is it Jack Campbell at times? Is it Alex? I want to see how I do think that the linebackers, maybe five-man front there at times. I want to see different iterations of ways in which he can bring pressure. So I'm curious to see how the linebackers look, clearly, because he used to coach that position. And clearly, I think that what I like about this defense, and it was, if you check out Lions on SI today, I was browsing the internet like we all do, and I came across a great site. The league site does good work. A lot of good writers, a lot of people I've interviewed when they come to town. One of the writers did a ranking of the league defenses, and he had the Lions, I think, in the top 10. And he believes that the reason why the Lions defense can maybe outdo what the projections are is because there's so much young talent. When you think about it, Terry and Arnold, Jack Campbell, Ennis Rakestraw. You have a young under 30 Amik Robertson, who's very underrated in my mind. Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. You have your makings of a very young defense. I want to see development. I want to see big time growth from Terry and Arnold and Ennis Rakestraw. And I think that's the next step. I do think that Kelvin Shepherd will be fundamentally sound, will have utilized all the tutelage that he learned from Aaron Glenn. But I want to see, all right, now your job is also to lead, but your job is to develop. And that's what Aaron Glenn did a good job of. You saw a lot of guys from Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch. You saw a lot of guys get better. I want to see the same thing from this young group of defensive backs and linebackers. And if you see that, if you see young guys get better, maybe some new moves, wrinkles with Aiden Hutchinson, if you see everybody stay healthy and they play well, this defense can be definitely top 5. No doubt about it.
Hey, one thing that we missed out with you on, Doc, and maybe correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Jared Goff stuff came out after we spoke with you last Wednesday. I think it came out Thursday, I believe. I could be so wrong on that, Doc, completely honest. What are your thoughts on how Jared Goff was perceived, though, in that whole series there on Netflix, the quarterback series? Did you think it kind of showed him in a good light and more people kind of open a little bit more? You saw some of the rankings now. He was ranked 8th. In one of the rankings that we got to see, the ESPN one. Do you think that's something that more people are going to be like, hey, Jared Goff might be a little bit more legit than people actually think?
Yeah, to reset for DM5. Simple question for the chat. Again, if Tate reported, don't you think there'd be some photos on the Lions Twitter page? Just go check out Twitter/Lions and check out Crunch Time. Did they lift any photos and post them yet? Why didn't they? Inquiring minds want to know. That kind of lends to my ability that maybe he wasn't there, and there's been a little bit of a hush, do not talk yet, because they don't want people analyzing who's there and who's not. I love all football documentaries on Netflix. I've watched a lot. I watched the day one. I watched it straight for the day it came out. I got up at 5:30. I was excited, and I was crazy. Like, I didn't even think about it, and I've never been that way where like reporters are like, why didn't you just skip through Kirk Cousins and Joe Burrow? Dude, I laughed my ass off. I think I probably, looking at how I'm styled right now, I probably need Joe Burrow stylist. Don't you think? Hit me in a handbag. Do you guys think if you guys know me as a humble reporter, if I raise my profile even more, let's say because I got invited to another team's NFL website, if I raise my profile, do you think I should walk around Allen Park with a satchel, with a bag, wear the bling that I own to there, and just kind of show up with a camera crew and just be like, I don't care. I need 5 people following me at all times and do things? Maybe. I don't know. But I enjoyed Joe Burrow's personality. I enjoyed Kirk Cousins and the way in which he's crazy. And guess what? There must be something with Spartans and Great Clips. I go to Great Clips. I have a Great Clips punch card, but my situation is different.
Wait.
I'm a 2-minute haircut. It's just a 3 all over. It takes me 3 minutes.
Take the hat off. Take the hat off. Take the hat off.
No,
you can't say Great Clips and not show the hair.
You know what? Next week I will definitely be cleaned up, clean shaven.
Oh, he's not cleaned up. That's why he's got the hat.
I'm in my sun's out, not wearing a hat for a couple of days. True hat head, not worthy of. That's why I wear hats here, guys. I think I'm better looking covering up this massive dome.
He wasn't expecting us to ask today to take that hat off.
To go in terms of revealing stuff, but I watched the whole series and Kirk Cousins with it. I didn't skip ahead to Jared Goff. I liked what they featured with Jared Goff, but in the end, here's my review. I thought that I wrote a column that said that Jared Goff would be a bigger star after the series, and I truly believe that. It showed his grittiness. It showed him talking trash on the field. It was good PR for Jared Goff, but I wanted, in terms of being a content creator, something different. I didn't want to see another all series long feature with Jared and his wife. I mean, we've seen that in plenty of other times at Hard Knocks. Jared and Kristen. I wanted to see a little bit more of Jared and Dan Campbell. Does he have relationships with anybody else besides Amon-Ra? I would have liked to have seen some work with Jamo, some work with Sam Laporta. I would have liked to have seen him having a meeting after the Buffalo game and talking to Dan about the loss and other kind of stuff. I just thought that it was kind of a simple approach with some of the narratives they approved. And I have a producer's brain, so I would have done a lot more different things in depth, but he didn't want to go there. And I felt like you could have did a lot more. So in essence, what I just wanted the whole series to focus on Jared Goff, and I would have liked to have seen that. I just thought it was too much Kristen Goff. And it's nice. I mean, yeah, she's a fan of her guy. She's going to be sad when they lose and happy when they win. Nothing out of the ordinary to me. I wanted to see him talking to his teammates and Gibbs and game planning and kind of a little bit more how Cousins and Joe Burrow were featured with their teammates. But Goff was a little different. It was more a little bit on him and a little bit on his kind of redemption story early on. But I mean, for us, in the end, for me, because I've been around him for the entire time, I was the one, if you go back and listen to his introductory press conference, he gave one real answer. It was to me. I asked him, I said, hey, you got traded here to this situation. Does that put a chip on your shoulder? And he's like, I'm going to answer you honestly. Yeah, it does. I'm ready to do this. I want to prove this wrong. So right from day one, I was checking into his mindset. I wanted to see more of that. And I think it would be great because I do think he's a competitive gamer that, like you said, that he gave little nuggets where he said he's thought about that Washington game the entire offseason, wakes up at night because of how awful he played. So I wanted to see more of that. I wanted to a whole episode diving into what he's done this offseason to get better. I just would have produced it a whole lot different, but that's just me.
Doc, we know why they showed Christian Goff. Come on, man.
Yeah, but exactly. But of course.
I got two reasons, but go ahead.
Yeah, of course. Sports Illustrated supermodel.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me ask you this. So you mentioned the ranking list. We actually broke down the running back one, and Jameer was third on that list behind Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. And the conversation that we keep having with Lions fans is kind of the trajectory of Jameer and what that means in regards to where he'll be ranked this year with like Saquon. Does he have a down year? Derrick Henry, does he finally kind of hit the wall? But he does have David Montgomery alongside him. What's your take on that? Because we know he's talented, but you also don't want to keep him. You want to keep him fresh. How do you think the Lions kind of balance that? And do you think by the end of the year we'll have more of this? Like, yeah, he's better. He's better than one of those two guys, or maybe he stays where he is.
Yeah, I want to address what Xavier said real fast. So this is a Real Madrid hat. Okay, and here's the story of how I got it. Last year I went to New York for the joint practices. I drove it. And it was a beautiful drive, no traffic, right until we get into New Jersey. The second we get into New Jersey, it's right in the pregame of Real Madrid versus Barcelona's exhibition game. I'm like, we ain't moving. It's 6:30 at night. We ain't moving an inch. Where are all these people coming from? And I find out it's Real Madrid and Barcelona. I'm like, we ain't moving for a while. And literally, we were 5 minutes away from our destination. So there was this guy out there in the middle of the road selling these hats for like $25. And I said, we ain't moving. I'm like, I'm bored. I'm like, SA, $15 cash. And he's like, no. I said, $15 cash or else. And he's like, fine. He took my cash. So I saved $10. I felt funny.
Did you rob him, Doc? Did you or else? You said 15 or else. 15. Did you rob this guy?
15, no bueno. I said 15 all day. 15 SA. He said, okay. He took my cash. And I said, you know what? I earned my Middle Eastern card for a year where I bartered for a hat. And I wore it. I'm like, you know what? I'm a big soccer fan. I love the English Premier League. My team is not Real Madrid, but I bought it just bored out of my mind in a car stuck on the highway next to MetLife Stadium. So I've had it just sitting here, and I'm a big soccer fan. My team's Liverpool. I grew up when I think in the late 90s, Gerrard there got them a Champions League title when they were behind, and it just shocked the world. So I'm a big sports fan, but it just looks good. And I just feel like, you know what? Whatever I rock kind of has some kind of swag to it, but I know I'm not taking no bong hits. I'm just chilling. I'm doing the DOC thing, having a good time. And I told you guys, I teased it. I told you a month ago that at the end of the summer, I was going to come out here and just hang loose and say whatever and be chill. And that's what I'm doing. Now, like you guys said, don't let Jahmyr Gibbs get hot because he's going to end up in that conversation like Saquon Barkley. He's right on par with him. He's on par with Saquon Barkley. And this year, Dan Campbell and John Morton are going to be like, all right, it's time to put the pedal to the metal, get it from third gear to fifth gear. They're going to give him the football. He said it out loud, which was wild to say. He's like, yeah, I've been kind of John Morton wants me out there in split formations a lot more, and I'm going to get the ball probably a little bit more in the passing game. So I expect fully 1,000-yard rushing, 1,000-yard receiving, yeah, of course you're going to involve David Montgomery, but this is the year I think you unleash Jahmyr Gibbs, and at worst next year he'll be number 2 behind Saquon Barkley. So I'm fully excited for Jahmyr Gibbs. I like his personality. He's quiet, confident, and but when he gets on the field, he's a straight up killer. And I just think that the fan base is going to fall even more in love with the Alabama guys this year. Arnold, Jamison Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, look out. They'll go as far as those guys carry them. And Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is just, for me, I just wish he'd let his personality out a little bit more. Very buttoned up. Very Nick Saban got to him. Like, dang it. Nick Saban got to Jamo, got to Terrion, got to his guys, and they don't talk a whole heck of a lot, but he's got a lot to say. He's definitely animated, and who gets it out of him is David Montgomery. He calls him right out. He's like, why are you acting like that when they come in here? Like, this guy ain't, David Montgomery just calls him out. He's like, this guy don't act like this when we're in the room. And Jahmyr's like, come on, man, just be quiet. These guys are going to leave soon. So it's always fun to see how the guys button up that don't want to talk to the media. I hope he does, because I think he's got a good personality. We're not that mean. It's pretty straightforward in Detroit. You play good, we write nice things. You don't play good, we criticize. It's just the straight up nature of sports.
Yeah, I do want to ask you here, Doc. I know I already talked about storylines you're looking for. Can I ask you kind of just like some players? And I'm not asking storylines. I kind of want to know like surprise players for fans that are watching to keep an eye out. I'm not talking the Jahmyr Gibbses and the Amon-Ras and Brian Branches. I'm talking some, second, third string players that are going to be fighting for spots or even starting positions here on this team that people need to keep an eye out for heading into training camp over the next few weeks.
Yeah, no doubt. Booner, get the yayo. Let's see.
Jeez. I mean, this.
What is? I didn't understand. I didn't.
You gotta put that in a translator, Boone. That's what.
Yeah.
I didn't hear what he said.
The chat will get it. The chat gets it. I knew Booner wouldn't get that. That's the best. I
just didn't hear what you said, Doc. What'd you say?
That makes it funny. Chat, fill in Booner what I just told him. It was good stuff.
Coca-Cola, Boone, but not the Coca-Cola you're thinking of. That's Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I got it. I thought you said okay. Yep. All right.
Yeah. No,
I didn't understand the pronunciation. I know what you said.
You learn something new, Boone. Every time.
It's not something new that I've learned. Like I know it. I'm not saying I've done that, but I'm saying is I've heard of this term. I've heard of the term. I've heard of the term.
Where's that line from, Booner?
I don't know. I've heard this term. Someone has said that. It might have been. It could have been Jeff.
Right. So it's a movie that I think if you guys
one of my favorite movies of all time.
It's one of the great movies of all time. And so I'll let you guys share what that is in the chat and all that good stuff. Players that are going to step up. I do want to see the developmental players. I'm not like you guys made a concrete statement that you don't think Colby Sorsdahl is there. I do think he's got some competitiveness to him. I want to see what opportunity he has. Maybe it's at center. I want to see that. I do want to see Broderick Martin and Giovanni Manu step up and make some plays. I think that a lot of people right now have Colby Sorsdahl, Broderick Martin on the outs, and I want to see them compete because, Broderick Martin's got a long way to go to kind of move up the depth chart. I want to see his competitiveness. I want to see him battle and make it a tough decision if they end up having to move on from him. A guy that I think is really intriguing for this defense that I do think has that in him and was really devastated about the bad year that he had. And this Rakestraw, he's somebody, when you watch the film on him and you watch a little closer, very physical, can play press, can do a lot of different things. I think he can be on the outside, can play nickel. He can help this football team. And I think that he'll be a breakout candidate. He'll be a guy that people talk about in the second half of the year as somebody that takes a stride forward. And so I think there's a lot of young talent that can compete and do some things. And I'm very excited to see those opportunities for a lot of the young guys to get after it.
Doc, we do got some mailbag questions we could get to. The people that do drop for you already. Seth, shout out to Seth, by the way. He's a Youper. He's tuning in. He's been tuning in, but he's in the live show chat for the first time. Seth, appreciate you, brother. Welcome. He said, question for the Doc. Do you think Rakestraw will be a better at outside corner or move him to be a backup safety possibly? I know we haven't seen much of him yet, but I know he played safety at Missouri.
Yeah, that's what they like about him. True, right? A guy that can do a lot of things. Here's the problem. I think the veteran backup is Avonte Maddox. I think you got a good mix with Branch, with Kirby and Avonte Maddox, and then one of the young guys, whether it be Conley or Dan Jackson. I think you want to kind of keep that there. I don't see him being a safety. Now, you could maybe mix and match if there's opportunities where you feel Branch could be at a nickel spot at times, but I see him better at the outside. I see him competing and being a guy that can give DJ Reed a spell against maybe a taller, speedier wide receiver. I think there's opportunities to compete. He was okay guarding Jamo. Now, Jamo just makes anybody look silly. When he turned on the Jets, he blew past Ennis Rakestraw, but that competition daily, I think, will get him better. So I see him better suited on the outside.
We got, actually, it's a, you'll like this one. Get a boy Juan. Doc, do you think Aiden Childs can take another step to make MSU contenders with this cupcake schedule?
Yeah, it's been really buzz-free kind of offseason for Michigan State. That's the key, is if Aiden Childs takes a step up, that they go as he goes. Here's the thing with Ghetto Boy. Here's the thing. When Michigan State moved on from their AD, that cut the buyout of Jonathan Smith. He might be on a shorter leash. The whispers that you hear around the program is that if the money's not coming in, the recruits don't develop. They didn't look like a team that got a whole heck of a lot better over the course of last year. If it starts to stink up again, Jonathan Smith might be not long for East Lansing. This is big boy football, and Michigan State has been dormant for the last couple of years, and fan base is not tolerating the nonsense that they've been putting on the field, and you've kind of taken a backseat to Michigan the last couple of years. Spartan Dog has got to rise again, and Aiden Childs has got to be somebody to take a step forward. He was a lot of hype last year, but a lot of turnovers, as you'd expect from a young player. But I do think he takes a step up. I do see Michigan State in that 6 to 7 win range. I just hope that there's opportunities for them to get better and some of the recruits to develop.
Let's see. Ben Blue says, Doc, Mailbag, who do you got as the favorite to win the Natty this season in college football? Who's your sleeper?
No sleeper. I got one favorite and one team that I think, from what I've seen, looks like the truth. Texas. Archie Manning, if he's got any semblance of that Manning blood. One thing that you're not really hearing a lot of about Texas, their defense. They recruited a lot. They've invested a lot of money in that program, and it was crazy. I've enjoyed the blessing of being able to cover college football, being at the big house, going to Michigan State, and covering, because you know the recruits, you know that Brad Holmes will be at Ann Arbor, checking out the talent and things like that. You get to see a lot of NFL scouts and have some fun side conversations off the record. But when I saw Texas and Oregon show up, it was totally different. It was like an NFL operation. They had police escorts. They had the offensive linemen and defensive linemen of Texas look like full-grown NFL trench players. I was just blown away by the whole program. So I just dug in further, read more from the SI sites that cover the SEC and Texas and all that. I'm just like, holy cow, that program's crazy. They're on the cusp. Sarkisian's one of those guys that's really bright offensively, but just has been one of those guys that just falls short in the big moments. I think this year might be the year for Texas. If Archie Manning can step it up, that's a guy that's going to get a lot of hype and a lot of attention. I like Texas quite a bit, and I would be quite surprised if they're not in the college football playoff this year.
Well, based on the outfit, Doc, Steven did say, what's your all-time favorite hip-hop song, Doc?
That's a great question, man. I
know you listen to it sometimes.
I don't know if I have a favorite. I mean, not even top of mind. Music is not really typically my thing. I'm more of a light rock music, 96.3, 100.3, soft rock kind of guy.
Okay.
Hip hop. That's a good question. Off the top of my
all-time
head.
favorite top three bands. Top three bands.
Top three bands. Listen,
or
I'm
artists.
Genesis, Phil Collins, shit like that. You know what I mean? Light rock, hip hop. Let's see. Let me look through here. Let me refresh my memory here.
I had the Doc playlist.
No Black Sabbath, Doc?
No Black Sabbath. Right now, what's in the top is Metallica and Travis Scott. Travis
Scott.
Yeah.
Obviously, man breaks out theme.
Now, the documentary that he did was pretty wild in terms of the stuff that he was doing. Who else is in here? Old stuff. Too Short, Blow the Whistle, Kevin Gates.
Oh yeah.
I go on and on.
Yeah.
He's got Kevin
I
Gates.
last so long.
I love that.
I got right here 42 Doug, Freedom Boys in the list here.
42 Doug.
42.
Hey, Doc's out here working, man.
Yeah,
Hey.
I got listen. I truly believe that I am the most eclectic. It goes from 42 Doug to a wrestling entrance to Paul Simon to Little Nas X to The Weeknd to Harry Styles. So Kevin Gates, yeah, of course, man. my nephew, the blessing of having a nephew is he's like, Doc, play it. What do you mean play it? That song. He's like, are you kidding me? I got here in the backyard blasting Turn Me On to my nephew. And he's like, just having that good old time. So I like to jam out and have a good time, but nothing like where I'm crazy wild about it. Just a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, that was. Can you at least say that was before the Tigers game debacle? You had to have been playing some Kevin Gates before, or 42 Doug before you went that Tigers.
You never
game.
thought you'd hear 42 Doug come out of the Doc's mouth, right?
Yeah, that's I love that. Let's see. There's another question I wanted to bring up here. Who Dat says, Doc Mailbag, do you want to see more involved? Do you want to see a more involved Tim Patrick this season?
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys got other personal questions or reporting questions or anything off the cuff wild you think I want to could tap into, or would you want to know my opinion on, fire it up. I got a couple minutes here. Lucid mood. We'll see what you guys can come up with. But absolutely, Tim Patrick stamped number 3 wideout is interesting, right? The workout photos that have been kind of circulating. Tim Patrick, Amon-Ra, and Jamo. Where was Tesla? Maybe in the mix down the road, but the vets definitely getting their work in with Jared Goff. I think he's one of the things you like about his game, sure-handed. I think he's a pro, somebody that was injured and somebody that wanted to showcase what he was about. And I think that he did a great job last year, just being a reliable target. And I think if you get that reliable third target, it can kind of, erase the bad memory of Josh Reynolds, who was unfortunately a victim of bad drops at the worst possible time. Tim Patrick catches everything. Good catch radius. I think he'll be a great, great mentor for Tesla.
Chief says, shout out Chief. He says, Doc, do you think Jahmyr Gibbs will get 1,200 plus rushing, maybe 800 yards receiving, over under 20 total TDs? Will he be the number 1 back over Demo?
That's what I believe. I believe he's got the biggest skill. I probably would think maybe a little different reps for Gibbs than David Montgomery. I'd like to see them maybe even utilized together a little bit more. But you got to use David Montgomery. You got to set it up. You got to, thunder and lightning kind of thing, Sonic and Knuckles. You got to get after it. And David Montgomery, I'm definitely curious to see what kind of season he has. He got injured at the worst possible time. And I just think that, it's all possible. I'm more in line with balance, maybe 1,100 rushing and 1,000 receiving yards, but I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see how they balance it out. But I do think that the Lions are in that mode of looking at protecting their players. So it might not end up being, it's good to talk about now, it might not end up being 2,000 full yards, but right up there over 1,600 for sure. I do think that he's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. I think if he's as competitive as everybody thinks, I think he's going to, have a great opportunity, because I think one of the big complaints against the Commanders is you might have messed up Ben Johnson, Mr. Genius. You might have needed to use Gibbs a lot more in that game early to kind of set the tone and keep up with the Commanders.
Let's see. We got a question here. Steve Lehman, Doc, who's your dark horse for being a breakout this season?
Yeah. Who could break out? Clearly, I think one of the rookies is going to be Tesla. I think he'll get up there and have opportunities to get the football and make some plays. And clearly, I think he could be a red zone target. Vaki, I think on offense has a chance, if he can do some things, to do more than just special teams. A player that I think that many people already know. I think DJ Reed, he told me specifically he wants to get his hands on footballs. Last year didn't have an interception. I think that a player that we all know can do some things. I think him and Terrion Arnold will start to put their hands on the ball and get some turnovers. So I'm very excited to see that. And a player that I probably have to say will break out, but I do think that the talent level is there, and you just see a little bit of that leadership growing, that nastiness. I think Derek Barnes at Sam linebacker, his willingness to play on the edge and get after the quarterback. I think he's a player that I think the team can count on a little bit more. It was just starting to, build that momentum after that interception in a big playoff game. Unfortunately, the knee injury in a real ugly play that should be banned. But I think coming back from the knee injury, Derek Barnes, a name to watch this year.
Let's see. ETN, he says, you got your top 3 albums of all time, Doc?
Top 3 albums of all time? Well, you got to start with Michael Jackson, Thriller. That's just one of the best albums of all time. What else? I don't know. I'm more in line with how I grew up. I bought songs right around the time of Napster. You know what I mean? So, big collections. Like I do like greatest hits. So Genesis greatest hits, things like that.
You're more of a singles guy. You'll play the singles.
Yeah, I want the hit.
You're not going through albums like that.
Play the hit. Metallica. Like for me, I got Metallica's greatest hits on here, so stuff like that. I would say, okay, well, clearly, Metallica has one of the greatest albums of all time, one of their big ones. That probably one of the ones that sold the millions. I have as well. So I look at it and I say, definitely, if you just gave me 3 groups to play, it would be Genesis, Metallica, and let's see if you mix one in here. See if you want to mix some hip hop or anything like that. You know what? You got to do it. You got to do some Post Malone. I like Post Malone.
Oh, I knew there was one more there.
Hey, Post Malone's one of the greatest out there, to be honest. He deserves some respect.
He does. He absolutely does. Doc Mailbag, Shiftgod says, can you see Hutch having a defensive player of the year type year? Looked up today, the last person to ever win defensive player of the year and a Super Bowl was Ray Lewis. Wonder if Hutch could have a year like that.
Yeah, of course. The problem is Shiftgod Super Bowl, man. I ain't seeing it yet. I need one more. I need 2 more impactful players on this roster. I need the belief that they can stay healthy. Goff with a new coordinator. What does he look like? Does he rebound? It could go the other way. When he got rocked before with the Rams, it was not a pretty look. So I'm curious to see how it all shakes out. Aiden's going to be just fine. Whether he gets the finalized deal, I'm still waiting to see if he inks the deal. I don't know if it's on his desk. I don't know if he's hanging out like me, doesn't want to sign it yet. I thought it was supposed to be finalized already. I thought
Slick Rick said it.
Yeah, Slick Rick said it. You believe that? I would probably believe that over what this guy's putting together at this point. But it's been fun off the record talking to you guys about shit like that.
It's fun, Doc. Slick Rick.
It is fun. It's fun because it's just media literacy is hilarious, and the words that people use that they choose to ignore is hilarious. But Aiden's gonna be great. 15 sacks, gonna be impactful, gonna make a lot of noise. And if he doesn't get the deal this year, he'll definitely get it next year for sure. So if he believes in himself and he does what he needs to do, then he can get up there into 45 million. But with Aiden, if you ask me, because I don't know if you asked me about his contract, my humble opinion is his representatives and all these guys should listen to their reps. No hometown deals, no friendly, nothing. It's simple. I'm just going to sit back and wait for the season to start. And let's see what Trey Hendrickson gets. And let's see what TJ Watt gets. And if they're in that 38 to 40 range, boom, you know that you get 42 and you're happy. You're the best. Why would you do it early? Because if you, let's say, for example, first and foremost, the league and the agents don't want players to not set the market. They always want to push things forward. That's why all these players that don't there's always talk like Russell Wilson didn't get guaranteed. There was just talk like, wait a minute, we want to push things forward. And I just think that Aiden is in an opportunity, has one of the precedents to be able to set the defensive end market. And I just think that why wouldn't you give him 42 if let's say, for example, Trey comes in at 40 and matches, and then TJ Watt gets a big deal, maybe short term, gets 41, 42. If you're Aiden Hutchinson, you just sit back and wait, and then you just make sure that when you sign your deal, you set the market for the next crew. And because he's probably going to get 4 years, I just think you start at 4 years, 160, and that's the floor. But why would you go early? Because the second you get 38, 37, the other guys are just going to go way over you. So I think that Aiden deserves to be one of the best based on what he can bring to the table. I know that sometimes contracts aren't really based on, potential, but Amon-Ra, Panay, people, a lot of people in their 30s are getting big deals, but Aiden deserves it now. Give it to him right now. And you might even get out ahead of it, because let's say you give Aiden 45 and the next wave of young guys that get after it, they might get 50, 55, 60. So just like how Amon-Ra's contract's already number 7. They got in, people thought 30 million for Amon-Ra. Now it's already a super valuable contract. If you can get Aiden at 42, then it's something that you wait. I don't see him having anything available right now until I think he goes last. In my speculation, my thing is that I expect him to have a deal done, but after Trey, after Watt, when the season starts, boom, within a week, you'll see Aiden get signed.
Seth has another one here. I got 2 more. He says, Doc, do you think Lovett can make the roster? I think if we put him on the practice squad, he'd be poached, so I'm pulling for him.
That's a great observation. He could be poached. But I do think that, draft picks have an opportunity. It's going to be an uphill climb Tesla is going to make a tough case. Getting over Khalif Raymond is going to be tough. Here's the thing for Lovett. It's not going to be about your receiving. Yeah, you'll get out there. Yeah, you'll get balls thrown to you. You got to showcase special teams value. You got to make Dave Phipp go to Dan Campbell and say, keep that guy. If he shows special teams prowess, he'll be on the team.
Weezy D says, Doc Mailbag, are people sleeping on Lagoda and Monty's TD production this year?
No, I think people expect a lot from both of those guys. A lot of people think that, Sam Laporta didn't have a great year last year, but he definitely understood that the offense scored a lot of touchdowns, so he wasn't really all that disappointed. I think he comes back and has a great year. David Montgomery, listen, if you want to win your fantasy league, I would definitely load up on the Lions offense. They were one of the third, fourth highest scoring offenses last year. And they scored on over 50% of their drives, third, fourth highest of all time. So they just scored a lot of points. I expect it to continue. And I expect that people will definitely pay attention to David Montgomery and Sam Laporta. Those are weapons. And I just think that if they're not having a good year, the Lions record will suffer.
Last question here. Ben Blue says, another Doc Mailbag. Have you got an early start on any of the potential 2026 NFL draft prospects, or are we on a break to the latter half of the season?
Yeah, no, I know that a lot of mock drafts are already mocking I think a Florida State defensive end to the Lions. No, I have not looked yet at any 2026 mock drafts. I leave that for Christian.
Those people are sickos. Those people.
No, they are, but the people read it. They do read it. I just get a lot of pushback, like, oh, it's still we haven't even hit training camp, and you're already looking at the draft. I used to put out a mock draft right after the day after the draft. People read it, but they complain a lot, so it's just a headache to listen to all that nonsense. Listen, Blue, people will read draft content 24/7, but it comes with a lot of oh my god and But pretty soon, maybe at some point in training camp, we'll have just an article or two just about what people are saying. Or, what I did last year, I think I did was at the start, look for it because I know I did it last year, just players to watch throughout college. And we'll highlight from each major conference some players that you could watch. We'll definitely do that. And so look for it at Detroit Lions on SI.
Hey, Doc, I forgot to ask you too. We talked about it the other day, but I don't know what your thoughts are before the All-Star break here for the Tigers. Tigers dropped like 4 straight games, had a pretty bad run differential. What did you kind of make of that stretch of games? Is there any form of panic for you as someone that has been a little more skeptical but hopeful as the trade deadline approaches, or you're not too worried about stretches like that?
Yeah, it was a bad stretch, right? But I'm actually in the boat that's great silver lining because it definitely opened the eyes of everybody that, yes, that Tigers team needs to add bullpen help. You got Vest and maybe the remnants of a pitcher in Conley. But after that, you need help. You need 2-3 relievers. You need starters. You need more. And I think that's a great, great thing to happen because there'll be no pretense, no lies that this baseball team is complete. So I think they'll get back at it. You got Skubal. The things I want to see Reese Olson dominate. I want to see Jack Flaherty start to take strides forward, look like the guy that was the guy in the second half of the year last year and get after it a little bit better. What was disappointing was the sloppy play, a lot of errors. It just kind of felt like they had vacation eyes. They probably wanted to get to Florida and get to their hometowns and hang out like I am. I get it. It happens. But guys, they lost 4 games in a row. What are they still like 58-39? So they're still great record. Still, I think 11 games on top. So no panic from the DOC, not at all. And if they start to slip up, I'll be right there behind home plate, talking my junk and getting them back at it. And I'll say some things that will catch some attention of the Tigers if I have to.
Love that. Go ahead, Boone.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing at the trade deadline, Doc? Are we getting are we adding pieces? I mean, we're literally it's the 16th. It's 15 days away. It's 2 weeks away. What are we doing?
Yeah. In the DOC 313 season, I'm putting out there that the Slick Doc believes that I'm expecting the Tigers to get a big time reliever, maybe from Pittsburgh, maybe from Baltimore. I think they're going to get out there and they're going to finalize a great trade to improve this baseball club. And you heard it here first that the Detroit Tigers are going to make a great blockbuster trade to bring some talent here. Of course they are. They have to. You're close. Your fan base is like loving life. They're enjoying what they're seeing out there on the diamond. If you go light, you're just telling everybody you don't believe. You got to go toe-to-toe with the Dodgers because they're going to add. They're going to load up. The Dodgers are one of the great teams, and they just add at the deadline. So you are hearing it from the Doc. They're adding, no doubt about it, a bat, a starter, and a reliever. Get after it and get this team a chance to win the World Series. You got basically, because I believe that, unfortunately, now the bad news is that I'm projecting and expecting that the Yankees or the Dodgers or another organization is going to finalize a massive $500 million deal for Skubal, but it won't be the Tigers.
Jeez.
Let's not put that bad at her.
Did this guy just bark?
Did you bark?
Isn't that the code for breaking news?
Yeah, that's the Slick Rick.
Slicker Ricky, man.
Yeah, he's doing some special things. Hey, so are you, Doc. We appreciate you. As always, you guys should follow the Doc, of course, on X at Detroit Podcast. This guy came dressed today as a member of Run DMC. Vanilla Ice. I mean, this guy, the Doc Ice, man. We'll talk to you next Wednesday, Doc. Keep up the great work, my friend. Yes,
thank you for allowing me to come here in my comfortable attire. This will be the one and only time in the summer that I go loose. It's always professional with the DOC. Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to win the rap battle. No doubt about it at Allen Park. I'm going to go out there and get myself in photos and all these new, like I said, if they're going to take photos and put them in hey, check out the Detroit News. I feel like one of the best photos they've ever had is a 6'7" offensive lineman being questioned by a 5'3" reporter. It's great. I think it's one of the best pictures. It should win a Pulitzer. It should win an award. Go check it out. I think it's really great and it's really fun. And you guys, like I said, I think that the chat's fun. Hey, when you guys cut this up, if you like this attire, hell, maybe I'll show up like this more often. And if it brings the numbers, we can have some fun. And like I said, I'm not afraid to laugh at myself. Listen, you guys made the summer fun. It flew by, but now it's all business season. And remember, don't fall for fake news. Don't fall for the pretenders. Make sure you get it from your trusted sources. The best three, okay? Here are the best three. I'm going to lay it down to you guys. I wouldn't lie to you. It's SB Nation, no doubt about it. Lions on SI, M Live. Those three, and you never go wrong with the Free Press as well. So make sure you stick with the people that you trust. And remember, if you, similar as we got to go with two sources, if you're questioning if something's real, check to see if the Doc, Jeremy, Corey, Ben, the guys at Detroit News, if you hear it from 3-4 guys, The Athletic, if you hear it from a lot of the local people too, then you can stamp it, because there's a lot of stuff that gets thrown out there with the intention of putting out information. But the lockdown information comes from those that are local and some big guys nationally as well. But I'm proud of you guys. You trust the right people. You guys have been great. What did we say when the summer started? 14,000 by training camp. Let's get to 15,000 by the end of the first quarter of the season. Smash the like button for these guys. They highlight the great reporters. They do good work. All the shows are great every single night. So like, comment, whatever it is, support these guys, because these guys are the future. And in the content world, to get 14,000 subscribers within a year is outstanding. And I got a little something to do with it, but these guys are doing the work. So like, comment, and let people know that Crunch Time Sports is doing their thing digitally, covering all of Detroit sports.
And by the way, I love you, Doc. Appreciate you.
You're the GOAT, Doc. We couldn't do it without you. There you go. The DOC. Check him out. He's crushing it.
By the way, breaking news, Von Miller just signed with the Washington Commanders.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, just saw it came across my desk over here.
Thought he was cooked. Twitter. That's what everyone was saying. He's
no, I mean it's Von Miller. He I think he had like 6 sacks last year still.
Yeah, no, that's a good signing by them. Drop your mailbag. By the way, shout out to the Doc, man. We wouldn't be able to get here without him. He's the man.
He is a legend, dude.
Yeah, we love talking to him. He's an
showing up in that bucket hat, dude. That's so funny, man.
Yeah, he's a content machine here. Let's get to mailbag. Drop your questions. We got a couple minutes here. First one, Stevie David. Well, Stevie David says, mailbag, what's your music takes, favorite tracks and albums ever? You will be judged. I'll say this. We got a wide catalog of music. I think we've listened to music together a lot.
For sure.
You know, we went on road trips. We played music. For me, my favorite album of all time, it's Nothing Was the Same by Drake.
Yeah, I would have to say I love Drake.
That's Drake's.
Can Can I just give some of my favorite artists? Because we can do albums and tracks.
Graduation by Kanye too. But yeah, give your.
I would just say with some of my favorite artists, like Drake, obviously. Lil Wayne is one of my favorites. I would listen to Lil Wayne every morning when I'm going to work. Jeezy, I listen to Jeezy almost every day before the show. That's like my pregame. Like any Jeezy song, I'm all in on. Those are probably my top 3 that I listen to be honest. If we're talking like outside, like let's disperse a little bit. Morgan Wallen, I listen to a lot. Trying to think of who else. Post Malone.
Yeah, I think my top 3. It's hard. I listen to a lot of artists. I'd probably say Drake, 50 Cent. And
I could throw a curveball out there for people that I listen to probably 4 or 5 times a week. For a little bit of local. Doughboys Cash Out.
Doughboys Cash Out.
Doughboys. I love. You know me. I throw when we're on a road trip doing something. I'm throwing Doughboys on all the time. That's one of my go. I love all of their songs, man. Doughboys is great.
Yeah.
That's probably like my 5 or 6 right there that I'm just like every day listen to. And there's a bunch of random ones in there as well.
Oh, ETN, Get Rich or Die Trying. Oh, yeah. One of the first artists I've ever listened to, my brother, I have 2 other brothers. They actually introduced me to the music I listen to now. 50 Cent, man. That was one of the first artists. 50 Cent, Lil Wayne, and then Drake were like the 3 guys I was like, what? 50 Cent, dude. Played the video game. He's a mogul. Shout out to 50 Cent, dude. He can do no wrong. 50 Cent. All right. ETN says Mailbag, top 5 guests you've ever had.
Oh,
that's hard. That's hard. That's a tough
Doc
question.
number 1.
Yeah, I mean, no order. It's hard to. You're not ranking guy. I would say, Trey Wingo, Jason Kabinda, Doc's up there. I mean, I'm always going to put him up there.
Those are some good ones.
Damn, I'm blanking. There's so many guys. Yeah, but those 2, Trey Wingo and Jason, they're massive ones, absolutely massive ones. Dang, man, I don't like this. There's so many. There's a lot of good guests we've had. I can't. It's tough to rank them. Trey Wingo and Jason.
I'm trying to think of some that we've had. I know we've had a lot. We've had. Yeah. I like having Jeremy on. Jeremy's one of my favorites to talk Lions with. Corey's up there.
Yep.
Corey's a good one. Because Corey too. Corey's Lions and Pistons, so I enjoy that.
All right. Cassette this question for the fellas. Were you all friends growing up and decided to do a podcast together? How long have you been doing this podcast? So this is we actually all met working in sports.
Yeah.
We've all met. Like I met Booner working at Woodward Sports, actually. That's where me and Booner met. Became friends right away. And then we decided to do this a year ago. So we've been doing it for a little over a year. I'd probably say, a year and like 4 or 5 months? A year and four months?
Yeah.
We started last February. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So, yeah, we've just been pushing. So now these guys we're basically brothers. We fight like brothers. We love each other like brothers. And we debate sports like brothers. So if you guys have brothers and you talk sports with them, that's exactly our relationship. So it's been great. It's been great. And Klotzy is okay. Klotzy's all good. That's another one of our brothers. So
Klotz is all good, man.
Yep, he is good. Appreciate the love. If you guys reach out to him on social media too, he'd appreciate that. What was it? What was Xavier's question? I see ETN says answer Xavier's question.
I don't know. Xavier. Can you answer Xavier's question?
Yeah,
probably this one.
Oh, top 3 most annoying people in chat you still love.
Well, there's one big one, Wheezy D. I love Wheezy D. Wheezy D's the worst. Has the worst takes.
That's tough. That's a tough one.
I love Wheezy D though.
Yeah, but you
that's an easy one because I battle with him.
Yeah, you pick guys you battle with. I don't really have anyone I battle with. I don't know, like most annoying. I really don't.
I don't have any. I honestly like annoying. Like I don't even want to say Wheezy D's annoying. Like it's not even annoying. I just battle with Wheezy D. I love everyone in the chat as much as I go back and forth with people and have a good time. It's just I really.
Hey, you know who? Not annoying, but someone that always just he comes in. What's his name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Comes in and absolutely cooks everyone.
Not even annoying. He's like disrespectful. There's like a difference between. I know who you're talking about. You're talking about that Michigan guy, Trevor Barrett.
Yeah,
Trevor Barrett's the worst.
Yeah, that guy just comes.
There's like a difference between like real life and like disrespect and like the show. Trevor, he crosses it.
Yeah, no, it's yeah, that's part of the gig, man. I mean, you're gonna get all types of characters, but yeah,
shout out Freddie Felt too, man.
Yeah, there's
no Freddie Felt in the chat.
There's no one that annoys us. It's all good. I actually love that there's so many people that have different opinions. It's funny.
Yeah, dude, I love it. Brandon Katz is a good one.
Brandon Katz. Yeah,
dude, he was unbelievable.
Kind of wish I kind of wish he was in our chat, dude.
He's hopped in here before. I think it's been a while, but he's been in here before.
Just so everyone could just absolutely cook him,
Yeah. Well, the funny thing when we were at Woodward, one of the greatest things, I don't even know if people know this, but on the back end, like with YouTube on Woodward, there were probably hundreds of Brandon Katz accounts that were blocked from other different show hosts and different people that are on air or off air behind the scenes, blocking Brandon Katz because he's gotten under so many people's skin. And I'm not kidding when I say like hundreds, like there's like just all Brandon Katz. I don't know how he's made so, because you need like new emails. You like it's kind of, I respect it, honestly.
I respect it. Yeah.
I've never blocked him or nothing, but I just know these people block him and then just a new Brandon Katz pops up. So it's like, how many Gmails does this guy have for him to have hundreds of accounts blocked?
No, and he would
it's
never.
So crazy.
I've never heard him say I agree. I've never heard that take either. I've heard it's I think it's actually entertaining, to be honest with you. But hey, we had a good show today. Appreciate you all as always. Much love to you guys, man. We had over 200 plus people in here live. Season's coming around, and we wouldn't be able to get to where we are without you guys. So we'll end it here. Keep up the support. Become a member if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell, and we will catch you guys tomorrow. 8 to 10 p.m. Same as you.
Love you guys.
Until then, much love, much love, much love. Peace.